Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all, and we'll be starting with a formal event in 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go. We'll be waiting for certain guests to enter, and then we'll start. We value your patience. I would request the participants to kindly mute themselves.
Dava.
Namaste to one and all present here, and extremely sorry for the technical glitches at the 11th hour. But no matter what is the scene, but the show must go on. So believing in this, humble greetings to one and all present here. Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research welcomes you all in the World Youth Summit 2021. F. Ian has rightly said, youth is not a time of life. It is a state of mind. You are as old as your doubt, your fear, your despair. The way to keep young is to keep your faith young, keep your self-confidence young, keep your hope young. Following the ritual, let's begin the first day of World Youth Summit 2021 with the energetic prayer of Sangha, which is 80-year-old prayer that sings the glory, beauty, motherhood, and affection of our motherland. CWSIR bows down to the entire motherland across the world. So here is a short prayer, Namaste Sada Vatsale Matrabhumi, presented by a student of class 11th of Sumitra Modern School, Sitapur, Uttar Pradesh, India.
नमस्ते सदा वत्सले मातृभूमे नमस्ते सदा वत्सले मातृभूमे त्वया हिन्दुभूमे सुखं वर्धितोऽहम् त्वया अतद्वेषकायो नमस्ते नमस्ते अतद्वेषकायो नमस्ते नमस्ते प्रभो शक्तिमन हिंदू राष्ट्रांग भूता प्रभो शक्तिमन हिंदू राष्ट्रांग भूता इमे सादरं त्वां नमामो वयम् इमे सादरं त्वां नमामो वयम् त्वदीयाय कार्याय बद्धा कटीयम् त्वदीयाय कार्याय बद्धा कटीयम् शुभामाशिषं देहि तत्पूर्तये शुभामाशिषं देहि तत्पूर्तये अजय्याञ्च विश्वस्य देहीश शक्तिम् अजय्याञ्च विश्वस्य देहीश शक्तिम् सुशीलं जगत्येन नम्रं भवेत् सुशीलं जगत्येन नम्रं भवेत् श्रुतं चैव यत्कण्टकाकीर्णमार्गम् श्रुतं चैव यत्कण्टकाकीर्णमार्गम् स्वयं स्वीकृतं नः सुगं कारयेत् स्वयं स्वीकृतं नः सुगं कारयेत् समुत्कर्षणु श्रेयसस्येकमुग्रम् समुत्कर्षणु श्रेयसस्येकमुग्रम् परं साधनं नाम वीरव्रतम् परं साधनं नाम वीरव्रतम् तदन्तः स्फुरत्वक्षयाधेयनिष्ठा तदन्तः स्फुरत्वक्षयाधेयनिष्ठा रदन्तः प्रजागर्तु तीव्रानिशम् रदन्तः प्रजागर्तु तीव्रानिशम् विजेत्री च नः संहता कार्यशक्तिर् विजेत्री च नः संहता कार्यशक्तिर् विधायास्य धर्मस्य संरक्षणम् विधायास्य धर्मस्य संरक्षणम् परं वैभवं नेतुमेतत् स्वराष्ट्रम् परं वैभवं नेतुमेतत् स्वराष्ट्रम् समर्था भवत्वाशिषा ते वृषम् समर्था भवत्वाशिषा ते वृषम् भारत माता की जय।
So, Matrabhumi ko naman. I'm Dr. Ravi Tripathi, an educationist from India, and I'm the moderator of today's event. Let's have a brief introduction of the NGO, Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research. It was founded in 2019 and established as an independent research and innovation society through Charles Walters Council for Innovation and Research under Section 8, 2030, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, based in Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, India. CWSIR paves the way to great careers, great choices, and endless opportunities. The mandate of CWSIR is to promote and support research and innovation through human resource development, including science and technology, academics and literature, and provision of the necessary research facilities in order to facilitate the creation of knowledge, innovation, and development in all fields of trades, technology, commerce, education, social sciences, health, economic, industry, and agriculture, including indigenous knowledge, thereby contributing to the improvement of quality of life of all Indians. With much pleasure, CWSIR is here before you with much awaited event, World Youth Summit 2021, which is a 4-day program, and today is the day 1 of the summit. World Youth Summit is a unique virtual event designed by and for young people. Over the 4 days, the summit will convene young people from all over the world and key stakeholders from UN agencies, national governments, and corporate partners to discuss the needs of young people in a post-COVID-19 world a preparation of today for a confident tomorrow. CWSIR is glad to connect with thousands of young people through the virtual summit with an aim to inspire, enable, and engage. The virtual summit will include 4 plenary sessions with
You are mute, Dr. Ravi, Dr. Tripathi.
Yeah. The virtual summit will include 4 plenary sessions with high-profile keynote speakers, 70+ interactive breakout sessions involving a range of partners and delivered across multiple time zones, 50+ expert speakers, 5 crore languages, live broadcast. As a response to the elevating negative impacts of the pandemic on young people, WHO has partnered with CWSIR's Youth Wing to initiate the World Youth Mobilization. This initiative, powered by the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund for WHO, deploys 4 strategies in addressing the needs of young people. Support for innovative grassroots to curb adversities of COVID-19 through micro grants and an accelerator program. Advocating young people's need in post-COVID-19 world. Contributing to personal and professional development of young people. Need of revolutionary rebirth of formal and non-formal educational channels. CWSIR strongly believes that this groundbreaking mobilization will definitely empower young people to respond to challenges in their local communities and recognize them for their efforts. It will build on a network of more than 5 million young people engaged through existing networks of the Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, and also a wide range of partners to inspire young people to action and community service. Now, to begin with, let us have the pleasure of listening to the opening remarks of General Secretary of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, Dr. Shruti Marwa, who is also the manager of Chandigarh Research Center. We welcome you, ma'am, on virtual stage for the opening and welcoming remark of this 4-day World Youth Summit 2021. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi. Thank you so much for inviting me here for the inaugural speech. Good evening, everyone. I, Dr. Shruti Marwa, General Secretary, CWSIR, on my behalf and on the behalf of entire CWSIR, extend heartiest greetings and a warm welcome to all present here. I'm glad to witness your esteemed presence. Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research was established in 2019 as an independent research institute based in Gorakhpur, UP, India. I feel proud to announce the success and heights achieved by CWSR in such a short span of time. We have a great vision to empower the trend of research and innovation in today's learners, training them to be a blend of technology and culture. We have been working smartly towards our mission to provide an environment of research and innovation and encourage research bent of learning among our learners. We are thankful to the founder, Dr. Smita Tiwari, who is a passionate educator and literature by profession. She is an awesome creative writer and the backbone of CWSIR. We owe our success to Dr. Abhishek Pandey, the president of CWSIR. He is the backbone of our organization, and without his support, no event would have been possible. Dr. Abhishek is resourceful for us in all aspects. I feel privileged to welcome the program chair, Dr. Dinesh Sharma, Honorable Deputy CM, UP, India. I'm glad to address our chief guest, Dr. Satish Kumar Dwivedi, Minister of Basic Education, Uttar Pradesh. We are extremely grateful to Dr. Puneet Kumar Dwivedi, Director, Morton Ropoff Institution, for making this summit happen. Youth is like a storehouse of evidence, energy, and liveliness. Youth decides the future of a nation. But we need to understand that youth can be the power of the nation only if they get proper education and facilities. In contrast, if the youth is deviated and the channel energy is not channelized, this can become threat to a nation. Let us see some interesting figures. Youth age 15 to 24 years, India tops with 34.33% of total population. 88% of them face social media cruelty, but only 11% discuss with their family. 13.1% face depression. 89% of them have violent thoughts. And 54%, a huge ratio, they get self-harm thoughts. Alarmingly, suicide is the second leading cause of death. 84.6% youth talks about drugs out of curiosity, and 90% addiction starts from this age. So here we understand the importance of youth age, and we understand our responsibility to channelize youth. World Youth Summit by CWSIR is a little step to contribute to channelize the energy of youth. World Youth Summit is with young people and for young people to make a post-COVID-19 ready world. The summit would inspire youth by getting an access to knowledge and experience of all the people present here. We want to enable them and engage them in conductive and research-related activities. In these 4 days, we will address the mentioned 4 topics. And now let us start with the spark. The entire program is affected by the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. And looking forward for a great evening ahead, I hand over the event to Dr. Ravi. Thank you, Dr. Ravi. All the best for the event.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an energetic and you have really given the beautiful graph, the rising graph of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research. Thank you once again. It is said that...
Ravi madam, Dr. Dinesh Sharma sir has joined. So,
okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. We can request sir to on video.
Yeah.
Please announce, madam. Announce, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the most awaited guest and the chairperson of today's grand event, Dr. Dinesh Sharma, Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. We rarely get this kind of opportunity to listen to the words of a great or knowledgeable speaker, ex-mayor of Lucknow, a university professor, a guide to more than 24 aspirants of PhD, yet humble and equipped leader. On behalf of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, I feel privileged to invite Honorable Deputy Chief Minister on this virtual stage of Youth Parliament, which is a mirror image of the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, who stresses upon learning new skills, reskilling and upgrading one's skill. Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research advocates his words. Skill is something which we gift ourselves, which grows with experience. Skill is timeless. It keeps getting better with time. Skill is unique and it makes you different from others. Sharing the vision to empower youth, CWSIR is glad to connect with thousands of young people through the virtual summit with an aim to inspire, enable, and engage. Under the kind supervision and flagship of Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Most humbly, may I request the chairperson of today's grand summit, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, to share the pearls of wisdom and bless CWSIR. Please, sir.
So I have sent you a request to unmute yourself. Now you will be able to unmute yourself.
Thank you. प्रणाम.
Please, sir.
Adar Pranam, sir.
नमस्कार.
So may we humbly request you to share your pearls of wisdom and blessings for Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research.
बड़े खुशी की बात है कि आज CWSIR द्वारा आयोजित इस 4 दिवसीय वर्ल्ड यूथ समिट के उद्घाटन के अवसर पर विभिन्न जो हमारे युवा मित्र हैं विभिन्न क्षेत्रों से संबंधित, वो आज यहाँ पर एकत्रित हैं. ऐसे तमाम महानुभाव, पद्म सम्मान से सम्मानित अतिथिगण और सभी शिक्षाविदगण, आप सबका मैं अपने उत्तर प्रदेश के शिक्षा विभाग की तरफ से आपका स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं. आज का समय बदला है और युवाओं की भूमिका भी बड़ी तेजी के साथ में बदली है. इसका सबसे बड़ा कारण ये रहा कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में जो 7 वर्षों की केंद्र की सरकार रही है, उसने युवाओं की उद्यमता पर, जहां उनके उद्यमता विकास पर जोर दिया है, कौशल विकास पर जोर दिया है, वहां शोध एवं विकास के क्षेत्र में एक नई पहल की है. इसके जो डेवलपमेंट के जो प्रोसेस थे, आज पूरे प्रदेश में, पूरे देश में अपने नए आयाम ले रहे हैं. भारत सरकार ने एक नई शिक्षा नीति भी जारी की है और नई शिक्षा नीति के माध्यम से तमाम व्यापक जो शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में परिवर्तन है, भविष्य के एक ऐसे युवा को तैयार करने का जो संप्रेषण है, जिसमें युवा न केवल भाग्य विधाता बनकर उभरेगा बल्कि देश को एक नई दिशा देने में भी सफल बन सकेगा. इसके लिए तमाम प्रकल्प नई शिक्षा नीति में दिए गए हैं. और ये भी प्रसन्नता का विषय है कि कल माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी स्वयं पूरे देश के जो शिक्षा विभाग से संबंधित लोग हैं, उनसे राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के संदर्भ में जो विभिन्न प्रकार के प्रयोजन हैं और उसकी चर्चा करने के लिए वो स्वयं आने वाले हैं. और मैं कह सकता हूं कि आज का ये जो बदलाव है वो निश्चित रूप में जो शोध एवं विकास के संदर्भ में है, उस संस्थाओं के योगदान को और अधिक प्रभावित करेगा. आज MSME के क्षेत्र में, चिकित्सा के क्षेत्र में अपार संभावनाएं यहाँ पर आई हैं. उत्तर प्रदेश में हम सबने 9 प्रयोग किए हैं. आज 1 डिस्ट्रिक्ट 1 प्रोडक्ट के माध्यम से जहां रोजगार का, नए रोजगारों का सृजन हुआ है, वहीं भारी संख्या में जो युवा उद्यमी हैं उनकी सहभागिता इसमें सुनिश्चित हुई है. कोरोना का संक्रमण काल एक ऐसा संक्रमण काल था जिसने महामारी के इस विभीषिका के दौरान हमको 9 प्रयोग करने का एक अवसर भी प्रदान किया है. चाहे वो वैक्सीनेशन के क्षेत्र में हो, चाहे वो सेवा के क्षेत्र में हो, चाहे चिकित्सा और गांव-गांव तक मेडिकल किट से लेकर जो स्वास्थ्य केंद्र है, चाहे सामुदायिक स्वास्थ्य केंद्र है, चाहे प्राथमिक स्वास्थ्य केंद्र है, उनमें चिकित्सीय सुविधाओं को बढ़ाने में अपने योगदान को सुनिश्चित करने का विकल्प रहा हो। युवाओं ने इसमें सहभागिता व्यक्त करी है। आज राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व के अंतर्गत देश के युवा खेलकूद के मैदान से लेकर व्यापार, वाणिज्य, विज्ञान, तकनीकी, चिकित्सा, उद्यमिता आदि क्षेत्रों में अपनी योग्यता का लोहा मनवा रहे हैं। हम लोग विगत 2-3 दिनों से देख रहे हैं कि हमारे जो खासतौर से महिला खिलाड़ी थी वो ओलंपिक में गई, और पहले हम लोग एक आधे गोल्ड मेडल के तरसते थे। उन्होंने गोल्ड मेडल से शुरुआत करी, सिल्वर मेडल से शुरुआत करी है। एक अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस देखने में आया है। आज कोरोना काल में जो सेवा का प्रकल्प है कि हमारा नौजवान किस प्रकार से एक जन जागरण कर सकता है, किस प्रकार से लोगों को आधुनिक चिकित्सा पद्धति के बारे में प्रेरित कर सकता है, किस प्रकार से कोरोना के महामारी से बचाव के उपायों पर काम कर सकता है, और किस प्रकार से फ्री वैक्सीनेशन का जो सिस्टम केंद्र सरकार ने जारी किया है, उसके लिए गांव-गांव जाकर वो हमारे चाहे ग्रामीण प्रदेश के लोग हों, चाहे शहरी प्रदेश के लोग हों, एक अभियान बनाकर किस प्रकार उनको प्रेरित कर सकता है, ये आज की एक महती आवश्यकता है। और मैं समझता हूं कि आज के इस युग में कौशल विकास और गुणवत्ता का सुधार हमारी एक आवश्यकता है। आज केंद्र सरकार ने और प्रदेश सरकार ने तमाम योजनाएं ऐसी जारी करी हैं जिसमें युवा आत्मनिर्भर बन रहा है, और युवा आत्मनिर्भर ही नहीं बन रहा है बल्कि युवा एक नए नए प्रयोगों के द्वारा अपने राष्ट्र को अंतरराष्ट्रीय पटल पर एक निश्चित मुकाम जो हमारा सबल राष्ट्र के रूप में हो, सुदृढ़ राष्ट्र के रूप में हो, उसको पहुंचाने में वो मदद कर रहा है। मैं CWSIR द्वारा इस आयोजित 4 दिवसीय वर्ल्ड यूथ समिट के उद्घाटन के सत्र के अवसर पर जो विश्व के विभिन्न देशों से सहभागी हमारे युवा मित्र हैं, जो शोधकर्ता हैं, जो पद्म सम्मान से सम्मानित अन्य अतिथिगण जो उसमें सहभागी बने हैं, मैं उनसे यही आशा करूंगा कि आपका जो एक बौद्धिक मंथन है, समुद्र मंथन की बात चलेगा, और इसकी जो कमियां हैं हमारे राष्ट्र के अंतर्गत कार्य करने में, जो हमारे आने वाली समस्याएं हैं, उनका निदान प्रस्तुत करते हुए निश्चित रूप में हम कुछ ऐसे सुझाव जरूर देने में सफल बनेंगे निष्कर्ष के रूप में, जिससे हमारा राष्ट्र, हमारा प्रदेश एक गौरवशाली परंपराओं की ओर अग्रसरित हो सके। मैं आभारी हूं आप सबको जिन्होंने इस प्रकार के संगोष्ठी का आज यहाँ पर समिट का आयोजन किया। मेरी शुभकामनाएं आप सबके प्रति है। क्योंकि आज का व्यस्त कार्यक्रम होने के कारण मैं आपके कार्यक्रम की महत्वता को समझते हुए रास्ते में उतरकर और आपके इस समिट में मुझे देर से शामिल होने का था, तो मैं अभी लौट ही रहा था, रास्ते में कहीं से उतरकर आपको मैंने आपकी समिट में मैं शामिल हुआ वर्चुअल। इसके लिए देर भी हुई, मुझे क्षमा करेंगे। और इस कार्यक्रम के तुरंत बाद मुझे दूसरे कार्यक्रम में जाना होगा, इसलिए मैं बहुत लंबे अंतराल तक आपके सम्मुख सम्मिलित नहीं हो पाऊंगा। इसका भी मैं क्षमा याचना आपसे करूंगा। एक बार पुनः मेरी शुभकामनाएं आप सबके प्रति, जिन सब महानुभावों ने मुझे आमंत्रित किया और मुझे बोलने का अवसर दिया। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद सर। चार्ल्स वॉल्टर सोसाइटी फॉर इनोवेशन एंड रिसर्च आपका सदैव ऋणी रहेगा। Thank you so much, sir. We feel very elated and honored by your gracious presence and your suggestions, guidance, and encouragement. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, may I request now our founder. It is said that a founder is one who burns the midnight oil and caters a grand platform to learn, grow, and excel. And Dr. Abhishek Pandey is one example who fits in it. Ideas are easy, but implementation is tougher. He has all qualities of a leader who inspire others to dream more, learn more, and become more. Let us have the pleasure of listening to the founder of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, Dr. Abhishek Pandey. May I request the founder, CWSIR, to share his vision. Over
Am
to
I
you.
audible, madam?
Yes, sir, please.
विद्या की अधिष्ठात्री देवी मां शारदा आज इस वर्चुअल समिट में उपस्थित वह सभी जन जिन्होंने अपना अमूल्य समय आज दिया है, CWSIR extends its heartfelt gratitude to each one of you who have been giving your base part of life, base part of the moment today to share the words of wisdom of yours and to address the gathering in the name of World Youth Summit. आज इस महनीय समिट के अवसर पर मैं डॉक्टर अभिषेक पांडे सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन वंदन एवं स्वागत करता हूं। डायरेक्टोरेट, सेक्रेटरिएट, ऑडियंस, मेंबर्स, आप सभी के सहयोग से आज की समिट, आज की शाम हमारे सामने उपस्थित होकर के आई है। CWSIR के दो ऐसे बड़े आयाम हैं, मोटोज हैं, जिनमें आदरणीय अग्रज प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर पुनीत कुमार द्विवेदी जी, ग्रुप डायरेक्टर मॉडर्न ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन इंदौर जी का काफी सहयोग रहा। He assisted me in all the parts of wings, academia, in the field of politics, in the field of organizing different summits, and he has intellectually contributed to CWSIR to make all this happen today. मैं आपका आदरणीय अग्रज का तहे दिल से हार्दिक अभिनंदन वंदन करता हूं। आज इस पटल पर आपके माध्यम से जिस तरीके की समिट का आयोजन और उसका शुभारंभ हुआ है, CWSIR सदैव आपका ऋणी रहेगा। और चूंकि बड़े भाई का छोटे भाई के ऊपर कोई ऋण नहीं होता है, उसका आशीर्वाद होता है। मुझे लगता है कि द बाउल ऑफ द ब्लेसिंग ऑफ माय डियर एल्डर ब्रदर डॉक्टर पुनीत कुमार द्विवेदी जी will always be there on to me and to the flag of CWSIR. आइए बिना समय गंवाए हम अपनी समिट को स्टार्ट करते हैं। Let us begin this grand summit with the blessing of the Lord Almighty. Thank you very much for hearing me, and I'll always be supporting all the researchers, all the innovators, those who are doing great and those who are trying to get the scientific temper of the youngsters. आज के युग में हम ये देख रहे हैं कि जो साइंटिफिक एक टेम्पर होना चाहिए युवा पीढ़ी के अंदर, जो विज्ञान के प्रति एक रुझान होना चाहिए, वह रुझान आज के दौर में देखने को कम मिल रहा है। देखने को मिल रहा है तो चूंकि हमें ये मालूम है भारत एक ऐसा राष्ट्र है जिसे सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता है। हमारा ये मोटो है, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग् भवेत्। हम सर्व की मंगल की कामना करते हुए अपने मंगल की कामना करते हैं। इसलिए सदैव जिस क्षेत्र में हमारा आयाम हमें बनाना होता है, हम उस क्षेत्र में अपने आयाम को स्थापित करने के लिए दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञ होते हुए आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं और बढ़ते रहते हैं। अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए अपने अंदर जो जुनून है उसको हम कायम रखते हैं, जिंदा रखते हैं। आइए आज इस समिट के माध्यम से हम सभी यंगस्टर्स का विचार सुनेंगे और उस मंथन के पश्चात जो बातें निकल करके आएंगी उस पर भी विचार होगा। आदरणीय डॉक्टर पुनीत कुमार द्विवेदी जी का पुनः अपने अग्रज का मैं हार्दिक वंदन अभिनंदन करता हूं। साथ में आप सभी जन का, महाशय का, ladies and gentlemen, they are all welcome today on the platform of CWSIR, Charles Walter Society for Innovation Research. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I would like to hand over all this program to Dr. Ravi Tripathi, the moderator of the event. Thank you.
Dhanyavad, sir. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek Pandey, the founder of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, for your influential message. Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research feels honored by the gracious presence of today's chief guest, Dr. Satish Dwivedi ji, Minister of Basic Education, Uttar Pradesh. May I humbly request, sir, to share his pearls of wisdom. Over to you.
He'll be joining in next few minutes.
Okay, never mind, sir. Now, we feel privileged to invite today's guest of honor, program convener, and a great youth leader, Dr. Puneet Kumar Dwivedi, Group Director, Modern Group of Institutions, Indore, Secretary of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, one of the strongest pillars of this event, to share his words of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It's really, I think I'm audible to you all.
Yes, sir, please.
It's really a matter of pride to get connected with the galaxy of intellectuals here in this forum. And I must thank my dear Abhishek Pandey for inviting me in this forum, and he has praised me like anything. And this was actually I have not done that much of thing. That it is his, kindness that he appraised me like anything. That is his humbleness. Actually, the forum from Gorakhpur is very close to me because I also belong to the same zone. Basically, I'm from the Kushinagar and based at Indore right now. And when I have seen this this forum, Youth Summit, World Youth Summit, and the whole world is looking at India, and we are having the huge population of youths who are contributing a lot in nation building. And when my younger brother, Dr. Abhishek, approached me and he asked me that we have to do this at great level so that we can propagate our nation's glory at the world, or you can say at the globe, in the globe. And then we have designed this program, and you all are working since long, associated with Dr. Abhishek since long. And then this project, I think, came to existence. Dr. Dinesh Sharma ji, very nicely, he's addressed this forum, that what are the vision of the youth leader, how in different difficult situations in our country, even in the whole world, the leadership has played a very vital role that we have seen, we have experienced. At each and every level, not only at the national level, national leaders are playing, even at this district level, village level. So everywhere we have seen the leadership is grooming like anything. And youth leadership is grooming like anything. That is the beauty of this conclave and beauty of this current scenario. Though we are fighting with the situation, but still we are growing and we are, developing our people, nurturing our people to tackle such, pandemic, or you can say the crisis, disasters, and we are becoming bold. So this is, जब कहीं समस्या आती है तो उसके साथ बहुत सारी opportunities भी आती है. We have seen many opportunities. Like when we were listening to Dr. Dinesh Sharma ji, Honorable Deputy CM of Uttar Pradesh, he very clearly stated that the Kushal Bharat, Kaushal Bharat, he focused more on entrepreneurship, the vaccination drive by the government, and many like he told us about how UP government is going to promote entrepreneurship and self-help groups, and one district, one product. He focused on that. So this is something like we are the youth, and when we are studying the startup culture, we are finding almost 80% of the startup owners are in the age of 28. That is the study, one of the study of NASCOM. So that means all the startup owners are almost 80% are youths. There are many sanctions of some of the countries. We are not supposed to discuss here in this forum, but there is, after this pandemic, and we have seen after the sanction on many countries, now there is the opportunity because we are the huge market of the world, and we have huge scope as well. So our youth have to think more on entrepreneurship and skills. Like Dr. Sharma also focused on the new education policy by the government, the HRD, Ministry of Education, Government of India, and how they are focusing more on skills. That it is not required that, or it's not essential that everyone have to complete their post-graduation and doctorate. Higher education is not for everyone. And if one wish to leave their studies or switch to some skills or switch to some entrepreneurial activity or startups, there should be a policy, there should be a proper, possibilities. And the new education policy is very clearly stated that yes, if you wish to quit, you can quit any point of time. And that is the beauty of new education policy. Flexible new education policy. So we have to be very flexible. So in this youth summit, my best wishes to all the organizers. And I think soon, just after my talk, I will connect with the people who are organizing Dr. Satish Dwivedi ji, and then we'll listen to him. So please, I'm disconnecting my call. Thank you so much for hearing me. Thank you.
Ramveer. Madam, you're on the mute. You're on the mute.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your immense support and your insightful words. The next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Dr. Bishwajit Saha, the Director of Training and Skill Education, CBSE, India. May I request, sir, to please share his insightful words.
Thank you very much, and good evening and namaskar to one and all present here, all the distinguished dignitaries, and especially Dr. Sharma, Dr. Puneet ji, Abhishek ji, and all the other members present here. It's a proud privilege for me to be here with you, and especially while listening to Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. He has categorically mentioned the new education policy and relevance. And again, Dr. Puneet has also talked about the entrepreneurship mindset, how we can create in the youngster. So at Central Board of Secondary Education, we are actually trying to drive the national education policy recommendations through implementations by means of our affiliated school. So first of all, there is a specific focus towards post-pandemic situations, how to gear up the mindset. So one, of course, we need to focus upon the resilience of the student, teacher, and of course, at the same time, how we can address the parents' requirement. Then secondly, that for all youngsters, because in the initial parts, some members was presenting in terms of demographic dividend. So here for India, we need to strategize that the vision for youth and deliver the youth program and service in a coherent manner, so that school education and higher educations inherently drive the mission to fulfill the industrial requirement. One way, of course, that Industry 4.0 requirements are emerging, and gradually the students who will be there in the systems for another 10 to 12 years. Once they come out from the systems, the total dynamics of the market behavior will change, and that's why we have to shift our focus towards new technology, and emerging technologies need to be inbuilt part of the curriculum delivery mechanisms, and that's what CBSE is trying to address over a period of last 2 to 3 years. So all kind of new curriculums, it could be in terms of skill module, or it could be in terms of full-fledged vocational subject. Now, this is one aspect of curriculum integrations which NEP talks about. The other area, post-COVID situations we are trying to address is in terms of assessment reforms. because assessment of learning, which is inherently taken by all the parents and students, and in fact teachers also believes on that. But how can we switch over from assessment of learning to assessment for learning? That transformative steps has been taken by Central Board of Secondary Education, and rather just to assess the learning competency, we are trying to drive that maybe in years to come, or even in 2021, we are going to conduct assessment on competency or learning outcomes for class 3, 5, and 8.
Madam Dravid,
Just to
Yes, sir.
just to understand.
Honorable Basic Shiksha Minister, Government of Uttar Pradesh, Dr. Satish Dwivedi ji has joined.
Right.
Sir has
Okay.
very important task also.
Shall I pause here so that let the honorable
Yes, sir,
minister
Thank
take
you
over,
so much.
and then the leftover points I can
Thank you
definitely
so much,
come
sir.
over. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Charles Water Society for Innovation and Research feels honored by the gracious presence of today's chief guest, Dr. Satish Dwivedi ji, Minister of Basic Education, Uttar Pradesh. May I request, sir, to share his pearls of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
आप सभी को नमस्कार।
जी भाई साहब नमस्कार, स्वागत है।
सबसे पहले तो आप लोगों को बधाई, आपकी पूरी डॉक्टर पुनीत द्विवेदी जी जो वर्ल्ड यूथ कॉन्फ्रेंस के आयोजक हैं, और इस आज की वार्ता में जुड़े हुए सभी विशेषज्ञ और सभी आयोजक समिति के लोगों को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं कि आपने मुझे आपसे जुड़ने का अवसर प्रदान किया। थोड़ा मिसकम्युनिकेशन हो गया था, मुझे लगा था कि 7:10 पर मुझे जुड़ना है, इसलिए मैं थोड़ी असुविधा आपको हुई होगी, उसके लिए मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी। सबसे पहली बात तो मैं आपको बधाई देना चाहता हूं कि आप लोगों ने एक बहुत ही अच्छे बहुत रिलेवेंट इशू पर, प्रासंगिक विषय पर आपने इस सम्मेलन का आयोजन किया है, क्योंकि एक ऐसे समय में जब सारे फिजिकल प्लेटफॉर्म क्लोज हैं कोविड-19 की महामारी के समय में, और एक ऑनलाइन इंटरेक्शन के माध्यम से ही बहुत सारे विचारों का आदान प्रदान हो रहा है। कई बहुत सारी नई चुनौतियां भी सामने आई हैं, नई समस्याएं भी आई हैं, नए एक तरह से पैराडाइम शिफ्ट दिखा है, चैलेंजेस में भी और अपॉर्चुनिटीज में भी, दोनों में भी। पुनीत जी और उनकी टीम के लोग तो लगातार इनोवेशन करते रहे हैं, नए नए मुद्दों की खोज करते रहे हैं, नए नए समस्याओं पर चर्चा करते रहे हैं, समाधान देते रहे हैं। बरसों से हम लोग एक दूसरे से जुड़े हैं। तो इस पूरे कोविड-19 के दौर में भी कई ऐसी समस्याएं आई हैं जिनके बारे में कभी हम लोग कल्पना नहीं करते थे। समस्याओं के समाधान के नए नए तरीके भी उभर कर आए। सोसाइटी ने बहुत गेन भी किया है। कई ऐसी चीजें जो हम कल्पना भी नहीं कर सकते थे कि हम इस समस्या का भी कोई समाधान खोज पाएंगे, वो हुआ है। यदि मैं अपने ही मंत्रालय का एक उदाहरण देता हूं कई बार, कि उत्तर प्रदेश के बेसिक शिक्षा में जिसमें 1,58,631 विद्यालय हमारे हैं, जिसमें से 90% से अधिक ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में, जिसमें 1,50,00,000 से ज्यादा बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं। और वो बच्चे कौन से पढ़ रहे हैं? गांव के गरीब मजदूर, किसान, ठेले वाला, कुंचे वाला, मनरेगा के मजदूर, उनके बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं। ना तो उनके पास स्मार्टफोन है, स्मार्टफोन है भी तो डेटा नहीं है, स्मार्ट टीवी नहीं है। और उन परिस्थितियों में जब फर्स्ट फेज आया कोरोना का, अचानक लॉकडाउन हुआ और उस लॉकडाउन में ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की बात हुई, तो हम लोगों के होश उड़ गए थे। हम समझ नहीं पा रहे थे हमारे बच्चों का क्या होगा। जो निजी क्षेत्र के विद्यालय थे, उसमें पढ़ने वाले संपन्न वर्ग के अभिभावक थे, उनको तो कमोबेश वो व्यवस्थाएं उपलब्ध थी, हमारे बच्चों का क्या होगा। लेकिन आपको बड़ा आश्चर्य होगा, ऑनलाइन अपील की हम लोगों ने, और टीचर्स को, डिपार्टमेंट को ये कहा कि जरा इस दिशा में सोचिए। बस एक बेनिफिट हमारे पास था कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फैसिलिटी के लिए हमारे जैसे हर जिले में एक हमारा बेसिक शिक्षा अधिकारी होता है, फिर हर ब्लॉक में एक ब्लॉक एजुकेशन ऑफिसर होता है। एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बना रखा था हम लोगों ने, छुट्टी के एप्लीकेशन के लिए, सूचनाओं के आदान प्रदान के लिए, उसी को एक्सटेंड किया, टीचर्स को व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप से जोड़ा और टीचर्स को फिर कहा कि आप लोगों को, गार्जियंस को व्हाट्सएप से जोड़िए। व्हाट्सएप के माध्यम से हमारे होमवर्क देना शुरू किया टीचर्स ने, बच्चों की कॉपी की व्हाट्सएप की फोटो मंगा के जांचना शुरू किया और धीरे धीरे फिर गूगल का प्लेटफॉर्म, फिर दूरदर्शन के टाइम स्लॉट, आकाशवाणी, सबके माध्यम से जब उत्तर प्रदेश के सरकारी स्कूलों के बच्चे कुछ ही सही, हम नहीं कहते कि हम सबको जोड़ पाए, लेकिन 20%, 30% जब वो ऑनलाइन क्लासेस से जुड़े तो मेरे लिए मिरेकल था ये, क्योंकि मैं यूनिवर्सिटी में रहने के बावजूद भी मैं ऑनलाइन क्लास से पढ़ाई कभी नहीं कर पाया था। मेरे लिए ही वो एक नया कंसेप्ट था और ऐसे में हमारे गांव गरीब मजदूर के बच्चे जब उस पर पढ़ने लगे, ये बात मैं जो कह रहा हूं उसका संदर्भ ये है कि इस क्राइसिस ने हम लोगों के अंदर कई नई क्षमताओं का सृजन भी किया। कम पढ़े लिखे लोग, पॉलिटिकल लोग, जिनको टेक्निकल नो हाउ जिनका बहुत कमजोर था, ऐसे लोग आज मंत्रिमंडल की मीटिंग्स में ऑनलाइन इंटरेक्शन कर रहे हैं। तमाम सारे आप जैसे विद्वानों से कोविड से उपजी हुई विभिन्न परिस्थितियों पर डिस्कशन हो रहा था। तो इसलिए इन परिस्थितियों में जो हमारा नौजवान है वो क्या कर सकता है, किस दिशा में सोच सकता है, क्या उसको करना चाहिए, आज के रिलेवेंट इश्यूज क्या हैं, वो क्या कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता है, इन सब चीजों को, बात को ध्यान में रख करके और टेक्नोलॉजी, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, कॉमर्स, ट्रेड, इन सब बातों को ध्यान में रख करके जो आज आपने कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया है वो निश्चित रूप से एक बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण विषय है। थीम जो आपने रखी है, राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण में युवाओं की भूमिका, पुनीत जी भी विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ता रहे हैं और मैं भी आज भी अपने आप को विद्यार्थी परिषद का कार्यकर्ता ही मानता हूं। तो हम लोग तो बरसों से बस एक ही शब्द राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण इसी की बात करते रहे। जब ये शब्द हम लोगों के सामने आया था तो अलग अलग शब्द को परिभाषित करते थे, राष्ट्रीय किसको कहें, पुनर्निर्माण किसको कहें, और हमारे उस समय के संगठन के जो पुरोधा होते थे जो ये बात हम लोगों को समझाते थे तो बड़ी आसानी से एक बात कहते थे, नागेंद्र जी, हरेंद्र जी, दत्ता जी, सब लोग की भाई हमारा देश तो हजारों साल पुराना है, भारतीय परंपरा, संस्कृति, सभ्यता, उसकी कोई कार्बन डेटिंग अभी तक हो नहीं पाई। कोई 5000, कोई 10,000, कोई 20,000 साल पुराना कहता है। तो हमको पंडित नेहरू ने जो आधी रात को कहा था, वी आर अ नेशन इन द मेकिंग, हम उससे असहमत हैं। हम ये मानकर चलते हैं कि 1947 में हमारा राष्ट्र नहीं बना, ये तो बड़ा ही पुरातन है। जो बरसों की उस गुलामी के दौर में जो कुछ अस्त व्यस्त हुआ था, उसी पुरानी नींव पर एक नई भव्य इमारत के निर्माण की बात हम लोग करते हैं। इसलिए नेशनल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन की बात करते हैं, पुनर्निर्माण की बात करते हैं, क्योंकि नींव हमारी बहुत अच्छी है, विरासत हमारी बहुत समृद्ध है। वो वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की अवधारणा पर खड़ी है। वो सोने की चिड़िया जिस महल में वास करती थी उसकी नींव पर हम खड़े हैं। तो हमको नींव नहीं खोदनी है, हमको एक उसी को फिर से उसके पर वैभवशाली अतीत की पुनर्स्थापना करनी है। तो उस संदर्भ में जब बात करते थे विद्यार्थी परिषद में, हम लोग अक्सर चर्चा करते थे कि भाई इस पूरे राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण के व्यापक संदर्भ में हम एक काम करने निकले हैं और वो शिक्षा क्षेत्र की पुनर्रचना करने निकले हैं। क्योंकि हमने व्यक्ति निर्माण का संकल्प लिया था और ज्ञानशील और चारित्र की बात कर रहे थे, तो ये व्यक्ति निर्माण का यज्ञ तो शिक्षा क्षेत्र से ही पूरा हो सकता था। तो उस विषय संदर्भ में आज मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, लेकिन जो विषय आपने रखे हैं, जो राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण के व्यापक संदर्भ में यूथ का रोल क्या है, उनकी अपनी भूमिका क्या है, और जो मुद्दे आपने रखे हैं खेलकूद में, शोध में, नई शिक्षा नीति में, शोध एवं विकास के संस्थाओं में, उद्यमिता में, चिकित्सा में, तो मैं बहुत सारी चीजों पर नहीं जाऊंगा, लेकिन 2-3 बिंदु आपके हैं, संक्षेप में उस पर मैं अपनी राय व्यक्त करना चाहूंगा। नई शिक्षा नीति और इन सब मुद्दों पर आप सब लोग ज्यादा चर्चा कर रहे हैं रोज। मैं बेसिक शिक्षा मंत्री होते हुए भी, ये मेरा दुर्भाग्य है कि मुझे बहुत एकेडमिक इंटरेक्शंस में इन्वॉल्व होने का समय कम मिल पाता है। यहाँ दूसरे तरह की नॉन एकेडमिक व्यस्तताएं ज्यादा हैं, लेकिन मैं उस पर बात इसलिए नहीं करूंगा कि जो पैनल विद्वानों का है आप लोग बेहतर इसको समझ रहे हैं। इसमें कुछ चीजें हैं जिसको हम तेजी से लागू करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। प्री प्राइमरी का कंसेप्ट हमने उस पर काम करना शुरू कर दिया है, डिपार्टमेंट में नोडल ऑफिसर नियुक्त कर दिया है, बाल विकास पुष्टाहार विभाग का जो आंगनबाड़ी हमारा है उससे कोऑर्डिनेट करके हम उस दिशा में चल रहे हैं। हमने सामग्री उपलब्ध करा दी है। आंगनबाड़ी कार्यकर्त्री जो रंगों, अक्षरों और फलों सब्जियों की पहचान के माध्यम से वो कराएंगी, उस दिशा में हम आगे बढ़ गए हैं। जो बेसिक एजुकेशन में ही स्किल डेवलपमेंट की बात न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में कही गई है, वो कक्षा 6 से 8 के बीच में उसका पूरा फ्रेमवर्क हमने तैयार कर लिया है। हम अपने सिलेबस में उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट कर रहे हैं। हमारा जो स्किल डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट है उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार का, उससे हमारा MOU भी हो गया है। उस दिशा में भी हम काम कर रहे हैं। जो पैटर्न नया आया था, जो विभाजन 10+2 की जगह पर जो नया स्ट्रक्चर आया है, उस हिसाब से भी हम काम कर रहे हैं। जो मातृभाषा को बढ़ावा देने की बात है, इसलिए इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल का जो कंसेप्ट हमारे यहाँ आ गया था, हमने उसको रोका है। अब उनको मॉडल स्कूल के नाम पर बुनियादी शिक्षा मातृभाषा में हो, उस चीज पर तुरंत काम करना शुरू किया है। संस्कृत में चूंकि ज्ञान का भंडार छिपा है, कक्षा 1 से ही कुछ संस्कृत शब्दावली से बच्चे परिचित हों और कक्षा 3 से एक विषय के रूप में पढ़ें। इन सब चीजों पर हमने काम शुरू किया है। थोड़ा और उसका शेप सामने आएगा तो आप लोगों से कभी शेयर करेंगे, इसलिए उस पर आज ज्यादा बात नहीं करना चाह रहे। उद्यमिता और MSME पर भी पुनीत जी जैसे लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, मैं उस पर भी जाना नहीं चाहता हूँ। लेकिन एक दो चीजें हैं जिसको लेकर के नौजवानों के बीच मामला चाहना चाहिए। एक तो खेल कूद का जो इशू है, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने खेलो इंडिया के मुद्दे को न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में ठीक से एड्रेस किया है और जितनी प्राथमिकता दी गई है, लग रहा है कि जैसे न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बनाते समय आने वाले दिनों में भारत खेल की दुनिया का बेताज बादशाह बने, ये ध्यान माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को और केंद्र सरकार को रहा है। हर स्टेज पर जो खेलों को महत्व देने की बात कही गई है, तो उस पर ध्यान देना चाहिए। और अभी जो ओलंपिक्स चल रहे हैं, आप देखिए आश्चर्यजनक परिणाम सामने आए। अब तक की आजादी के बाद की सबसे बड़ी टीम ओलंपिक्स में पार्टिसिपेट कर रही है। पिछले कई वर्षों से खेलो इंडिया अभियान के तहत भारत सरकार ने उसकी अलग अलग लेवल पर तैयारी की है। पूरी सरकार उसमें इन्वॉल्व रही है, कितना प्रोत्साहित किया है खिलाड़ियों को। और एक बड़ा एरिया हमारे देश में है जो अनएक्सप्लोर्ड है, जिस बारे में हम लोगों ने अभी तक सोचा नहीं। खेलों के माध्यम से न केवल हम ओलंपिक्स में, एशियन गेम्स में, कॉमनवेल्थ में पदक ला करके भारत का गौरव बढ़ा सकते हैं, बल्कि एक पूरी जो स्पोर्ट इकोनॉमी है, उस पूरी स्पोर्ट इकोनॉमी को एक नया रूप इस देश में दे सकते हैं और उस माध्यम से एक बड़े रोजगार का साधन। आप कल्पना करिए मेरठ में किस तरह से बैट बनाने का कारोबार जिस तरह से चलता है, पूरी दुनिया भर में एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है। तो ऐसे अलग अलग खेलों के माध्यम से नॉर्थ ईस्ट में एक बड़ा हब स्पोर्ट ऑपरेटर्स का बन सकता है। ऐसे तमाम सारी एवेन्यूज हैं जिनको हम खोल सकते हैं। तो इस दिशा में नौजवानों को इंगेज करने के बारे में सोचना चाहिए। अभी एक और धारणा है कि हमको खेलना नहीं आता तो हमको खेल से क्या मतलब, इसको थोड़ा एक्सपेंड करने की जरूरत है। जो खिलाड़ी नहीं है वो भी खिलाड़ियों के साजो सामान बनाने में, खिलाड़ियों की फिजियोथेरेपी करने में, खिलाड़ियों को जो तमाम सारे फिजिकल असिस्टेंस की जरूरत पड़ती है उसमें, तो एक जो खिलाड़ी ना होते हुए भी स्पोर्ट इकोनॉमी का हिस्सा बनाने के बारे में सोचना चाहिए। और पुनीत जी और तमाम सारे इनकी टीम के लोग जो नई नई बातें सोचते रहते हैं, तो थोड़ा इस दिशा में इन लोगों को सोचना चाहिए। नई शिक्षा नीति में स्किल डेवलपमेंट पर बहुत ज्यादा जोर दिया गया है। कक्षा 6 से उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट करने की बात कही गई है। शुरू में हम लोगों को कठिनाई भी हो रही थी कि कक्षा 6 में किस स्किल की बात करें, लेकिन पुराने अधिकारियों ने जब पुरानी बातें बताई कि कैसे टाट बुनना और कास्ट शिल्प की ये सब चीजें सिखाई जाती थी, तो उसी को मॉडर्न रूप में हम लोग लेकर आ रहे हैं धीरे धीरे। और पूरा हमारा जो व्यवसायिक शिक्षा विभाग है वो हमको हमारे लोगों को ट्रेनिंग, जैसे हम लोगों ने तय किया है कि हर स्कूल के एक टीचर को भेज करके उसकी ट्रेनिंग कराएंगे और हर रोज एक पीरियड स्किल से जुड़ा हुआ जो उस उम्र के बच्चों को सीखना चाहिए उसको करेंगे और एक प्रोजेक्ट के रूप में भी ले जाएंगे। छोटे बच्चों को भी आसपास के गाँव में कुछ प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग देने की कोशिश करेंगे। उस दिशा में हमारा विभाग काम कर रहा है, माध्यमिक शिक्षा विभाग भी काम कर रहा है, उच्च शिक्षा विभाग भी काम कर रहा है। तो हमको लगता है कि हम लोग आने वाले दिनों में 3 विषय आपने जो रखे हैं नीचे, यद्यपि वो शिक्षा से जुड़े नहीं है, उसी पर फोकस करते हुए अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगा। इस समय जो कोविड-19 की परिस्थितियां हैं, सबसे नीचे वाला विषय सबसे ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है। जो फ्री वैक्सीनेशन का पूरा कैंपेन चल रहा है, पूरी दुनिया में साख बढ़ी है भारत की। इसके नाते पहली बार ऐसा हुआ कि हम दुनिया के चंद विकसित देशों के साथ ही अपनी वैक्सीन लेकर आए, नहीं तो 7 महीने 8 महीने बाद ही हमारा नंबर आता था। पूरी दुनिया में हमारे वैज्ञानिक क्षमता की साख बढ़ी है और वो वैक्सीन असरदार भी है। तो नौजवान आगे आए, इसमें स्वयं वैक्सीनेशन कराएं और मिशन मोड में पूरे देश के लोग जल्दी से जल्दी वैक्सीनेशन के प्रोसेस को पूरा करें। तो इसमें नौजवानों को बड़ी संख्या में जोड़ना चाहिए, उनकी खुद की सुरक्षा के लिए भी, और वही एक ऐसे है जो अपने माँ बाप को भी तैयार कर सकते हैं और अपने अगल बगल के लोगों को भी तैयार कर सकते हैं। तो यह जब हम लोग कहते थे, पूछते थे कि राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण में आखिर हम क्या करें, तो एक सीधा उदाहरण सामने आया। कोई नौजवान पूछे कि राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण के लिए मैं क्या कर सकता हूं, तो इस समय कहा जा सकता है कि खुद टीका लगवाओ और आसपास के लोगों को टीकाकरण के लिए प्रोत्साहित करो। ये राष्ट्रीय पुनर्निर्माण में सीधी भूमिका है इस समय जब पूरे मानवता के समक्ष संकट खड़ा है। तो इससे बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण काम जैसे ब्लड डोनेशन के लिए अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद में काम करते समय हम लोगों ने 23 जनवरी नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस के जन्मदिन पर एक बड़ा अभियान चलाया था, वैसे ही एक अभियान इस समय चला सकते हैं। कोरोना काल में सेवा का अप्रतिम उदाहरण भारत के नौजवानों ने दिया है। राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के स्वयंसेवकों ने, अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ताओं ने, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के युवा मोर्चा से जुड़े हुए लोगों ने, देश के अन्य, चाहे रोटरी रहे हों, चाहे गायत्री परिवार रहा हो, चाहे स्वाभिमान पतंजलि का जो ट्रस्ट रहा हो, अलग अलग माध्यमों से देश के नौजवानों ने अप्रतिम उदाहरण पेश किया है। अपनी जान हथेली पर रख करके लोगों को अस्पताल पहुंचाना, जांच कराना, भोजन उपलब्ध कराना, प्रवासी लोगों की मदद करना। तो मैं तो ये कहता हूं, जिस तरह से कारगिल की लड़ाई ने हमारे देश के नौजवानों में देशभक्ति का एक नया ज्वार पैदा किया था, वैसे ही इस कोरोना काल ने देश के नौजवानों में एक बार फिर से सेवा का भाव पैदा किया है। उसका हमारे समाज को लाभ मिला है। और एक महत्वपूर्ण बिंदु इसमें है शोध एवं विकास को लेकर के। मैं इतना ही कहना चाह रहा हूं, यही कहकर अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगा। पहली बार आजादी के बाद भारत सरकार ने देश में शोध की गतिविधियों को बढ़ावा देने पर विशेष ध्यान दिया है। अभी अभी तय हुआ है 50,000 करोड़ रुपए का कार्पस फंड माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के दिशा निर्देश में शोध कार्यों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए तैयार हुआ है। पहली बार भारत ने शोध को बढ़ावा देने के लिए इतनी बातें सोची हैं। अधिक से अधिक कैसे संस्थानों को उससे जोड़ा जाए, कितने उसके एवेन्यूज उपलब्ध कराए जाएं, जो एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस की बाउंड्री से बाहर निकल कर भी व्यवहारिक रूप से खेतों में, जंगलों में जो शोध हो सकते हैं उनको भी कैसे रजिस्टर किया जाए, कैसे उनको मान्यता दी जाए, ये प्रयास हो रहा है। जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने नई शिक्षा नीति को रखते हुए कहा था कि जड़ से जग तक जुड़ने की बात कही थी, कि अपने पुराने ज्ञान, पुरानी परंपरा, पुरानी जड़ों से भी जुड़े रहें और जो दुनिया को इस समय जो जरूरत है वो हम पूरी दुनिया को उपलब्ध कराएं। तो उस दिशा में पूरी नई शिक्षा नीति है। तो मैं तो बस संक्षेप में अगर इतना ही कहना चाहूं कि इस बार जो भारत की नई शिक्षा नीति आई है वो भारत के विकास का एक बृहद संरचनात्मक स्वरूप लेकर आई है। उसी में सब चीजें समाहित है। तो उस दिशा में काम करें। हम और हमारे जैसे नौजवान अपनी अपनी भूमिका, अपनी अपनी क्षमता, अपनी योग्यता और अपनी विशेषज्ञता के अनुरूप तय करें तो निश्चित रूप से आने वाला भारत परम वैभव संपन्न भारत होगा। और जैसे टीकाकरण में हम अमेरिका, रूस, जर्मनी, जापान के समानांतर आकर खड़े हो गए, कई मामलों में आगे खड़े हो गए, तो हमको लगता है हमारा देश अग्रिम पंक्ति में जल्दी खड़ा होगा। और उसमें आप जैसी संस्थाएं, आप जैसे लोग जो प्रयास कर रहे हैं तो महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका का निर्वहन कर रहा है। और इतनी बातों के साथ आप सबने इस महत्वपूर्ण अभियान का मुझे भी हिस्सेदार बनने का अवसर प्रदान किया, इसलिए पुनीत जी और आपकी पूरी टीम को मैं हृदय से आभार करता हूं।
धन्यवाद सर। Thank you very much for your thought-provoking address, and that has set a perfect platform for the entire show. Dhanyawad. Now, may I humbly request Dr. Vishwadeep Saha sir to please continue with his deliberation.
तैयारी के कौन बात है? ये कागज सामने आया तो और हमको अपराध बोध होता है।
So kindly unmute yourself, sir.
I think Honorable Minister has given a diversified view of what UP government has taken over in terms of both skill development and education perspective. So in the similar line, because NEP is a vision set and a trending equations we have to come up with, and that's the mandate given to Central Board of Secondary Education. And in that line, basically, there are different aspects we are supposed to cover so that post-COVID scenario, the student, teachers, all are thinking in the same trajectory. So at this point of time, let me also share another initiative where I think strongly after CBSE, the UP State Board and other state board will also come forward in that particular journey. That is on innovation. So CBSE has launched an innovation ambassador program with All India Council for Technical Education and Ministry of Education, wherein we are going to train 50,000 teachers under that flagship program. And ultimately, every school will have an innovation club. And those innovation club, ultimately, it would be integrated with the idea lab of government and private engineering college in the neighborhood, so that integrations of multidisciplinary approach, both school education and higher education, can be conversed with new idea. And this idea with formal design thinking process, we are going to help the student and to become a new entrepreneur, and also to file a patent. So all those knowledge we are going to provide, and the initiative has already been started, and very soon we are going to cover all those components. The other component as a skill domain, I am not touching because all our speaker has rightly emphasis on that. CBSE is also categorically aiming to implement this thing. But let me tell that 11 skill module we have introduced as a part of integral curriculum of class 6 onwards, including the emerging technology of artificial intelligence, design thinking, coding, because coding and data science are being mandated by NEP also. Then there is a specific focus on STEM education, because in India, ultimately, be it a pandemic situation or post-pandemic situations, I'm repeating this particular term because after certain period of time, the basic sciences and research on those components would be crucial. So often students are hesitant to opt mathematics after class 10. So after class 10, that scenario, all India scenario, whether it is Central Board of Secondary Education or State Board, everywhere scenario is same. So my humble request to all the educator or education service provider, let us come together how we can enhance the STEM education, and especially mathematics in mind. Whatever developed economy we are going to see or perceive, they are best practices. Without mathematics, I think so many things are missing. Besides that, due emphasis on art integration, because STEM in India we pronounce STEAM, because without rich culture, rich heritage, nothing is possible. So one way we have to honor that, and at the same time, progressive thinking and global competency we need to earn, so that the survival capacity of every Indian citizens in the global perspective, and up to 2055, every state, every citizens of the country, because we are catering a huge pool of demographic dividend, and we can, if we can really scale up and skill them, then only the government of India's mission of Skill India, we can truly internalize, and also we can contribute to our developing economy. With these words, I think let me thank Abhishek ji and Dr. Puneet and entire team of CWSIR for inviting me, and let us work collaborative way. So 21st century skills actually required by us, then only our future generation is going to take up and follow certain role model. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your valuable insights, and you really energized Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research by your thought-provoking words. Now, the next distinguished speaker is Pooja Thalesra Bhandari, who is a personal leadership coach from from Singapore. May I request Pooja Thalesra Bhandari? Yes, ma'am, please.
Namaste. Hello, everyone. It's an absolute honor to be here in present of all of you. Every time I've been invited by Dr. Abhishek, and I see that every time Charles Water CWISAR has reached a new benchmark. So a huge round of congratulations and applause to all the team members. So could you kindly enable me to share my screen?
Sure. Just give me.
Thank you so much. All right. So I believe here there are youth and people who are going to watch us later on replay as well. So a brief introduction. So while I read my introduction, there are a couple of things which
Yes, ma'am. I have
cumulatively-
made you the co-host, please.
Thank you so much. So while I read my introduction, there are few tenets which actually describe me, my journey. So I'm going to start there and then I'm going to get on to the topic. It is said that the grass is greener on the other side, but actually the grass is greener on the side where you're going to water it. So my life journey, it was when I come in from a small town in Rajasthan. From there in, being a first professional in my family to being now in Singapore, being mentored by John Metton. It happened only when I could believe in myself. And that's what I'm going to urge the youth here. The first time, when I spoke, in my family, no one knew English. So the first time when I spoke, I actually spoke in English. And I felt like there were people whom I felt were mocking at me. And if I would have pressed the pause button there, I wouldn't have been here. So be careful. What are you nurturing your thoughts and where you are nurturing your thoughts? Very, very vital. Don't let the outer noise be your inner voice. So while I was doing my MBA, I graduated from Southern New Hampshire University. And later on, when I started working in the corporate, majority of roles what I was playing, I was the first lady in the senior leadership role, or maybe the first lady HR. So there were times when, people would pull you. So be careful. Don't let the outer noise define you. Be very careful out there. When I switched gears from corporate human resources to coaching, always remember when life is going to throw you in a situation, are you going to create opportunity or are you going to resign and surrender there? Remember, every exit is an entry somewhere. Most important, every level of your life would need a better and a different version of you. You need to be committed each day. And if you're committed, then no one can stop you. And last, I say inward excellence leads to outward excellence. And with this, I'm on a mission to create communities of authentic, courageous, inspiring leaders across 8 span and geographies. And that's what I work with. I work with millennial leaders and corporate and education field and Generation Z. Very honored to work with 12 plus countries. Today, I'm going to present to you the Excellence Map. So while we all are speaking about advocating the young people's need in a post-COVID-19, let's look at how does the map look like? Because we all want to aim at excellence. We all desire excellence in our life. So how is this map going to unfold? So I'm going to leverage my experience based on the corporate, where I've been coaching, and based on coaching Generation Z from different countries. First of all, very important, let's change the energy of the word. We keep on hearing corona, but sun has a very stellar ring around it, which is called corona, which is visible only during eclipse. It doesn't mean that the sun doesn't have it, it has it, but it's visible only during eclipse. So what are you going to do when this COVID, are you going to, resign to the pause which has been presented by the nature, or are we going to progress, emerge? And I was so heartened by hearing all the thought leaders presenting the programs and the initiatives, what they have been undertaking. so that we all progress from this pause. Let's look at the existing scenario before we get on to the excellence map. What does the existing scenario looks like? And the COVID, it has been a loss of job, family loss. There have been isolation, suppression, cost reduction, which the companies are focusing on, so lean structure. So while we are talking about all this existing scenario, there are three things which have become very important: our beliefs, thoughts, and actions. And actually, they three form a pyramid, they influence each other. So while if we see history, even if we see World War II or any other things which have happened in past, every time an event, either by nature or by human, has resulted in a turbulence and an emotional disruption. But what has defined us is how we have emerged from it. This beautiful thing today when I was preparing for this conference, and this image really got my attention. If you see a ship is surrounded by water, right? But the ship doesn't sink because the water is around. It only sinks when the water starts entering. So while the situation in some part of the country or in some regions, it may not be, the way you desire, but how are you going to respond is going to actually define. And that's the need I want to advocate for the youth. Because there are going to be always challenges in life. But are we going to let our ship sink in? The real power lies with us and not with someone else. So there is a need to activate our inner compass. So we need to focus in education, or be it in corporate, on the trust element. There need to be further trust, and we need to focus on learn to learn. We need to start reskilling ourselves. Re-engineering, reinventing, these words have become very, very important today. Even when I coach in corporate today, or even when I'm working in different parts of the countries, Generation Z or with educators, the word of re-engineering, reinventing have become very important. Because when we are talking about, it's just not the COVID, because I feel they have been, the progression of humankind has related somewhere. It's related to the circumstances what the nature has presented us. Even if you age, if we go back to our history, right from our evolution till now, only when we were presented the challenges, the evolution has taken place. So it's very important that we need to look at the alternate approach to learning. It will not be only exam-centric. It needs to be a learner-centric. Physical, emotional, mental health would be very, very important. The well-being would be very important. The alignment would be very important. And I did hear the Honorable Minister saying that we need to pay importance even on the physical aspect, on the fitness aspect, and emotional and mental health would be very, very important need, which we all need to focus on. While we hear VUCA, we all are in the VUCA world, which means volatile, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguous. But let's flip it. Post-COVID, what would be important and how we should look at defining VUCA is going to be, are we visionary in our approach? Are we understanding that, they would not be the same level of children because there may be few learners who would have dropped out because of the financial compulsion, or because there would have been some uncertainty which would have happened during in the family. So we need to understand empathy would become very important. Clarity. There need to be an entrepreneurial mindset. We need to be agile. We need to be very quick. And that's what this entire last 1.5 years has taught us, that we need to be agile in our approach. And this would be a new definition of VUCA. Are we visionary? Are we understanding? Are we empathetic? Are we clear? And are we agile? So when we speak about young people, we speak in three quadrants. One is school, universities, and professionals. For school students, as I said, that learn to learn, we need to keep on relearning. Personal leadership is going to become very, very important. Resilience, life skill, moving from an exam center to a real life application, having your learning more of learner-centric. For professionals, we need to, I see a trend of reverse mentoring coming in. They need to be, as a corporate, one needs to focus on a real touch point, need to get into the alignment of emotional, physical, mental well-being. The leadership, purpose-driven leadership would be a new trend, which would be very important to glue on to the talent. We would see a diverse talent because people can work it from any part of the geography. So how are we going to build a culture which is an inclusive culture would be a need further. So the key stakeholders, which I see is definitely it all starts with the parents, teachers, and all the learners, all the youth here are as well the key stakeholders. When any change we need to advocate, we not only need to work on the environment around, but we need to even work on us, the element. So important. Very briefly, I'm going to go through the slide. If you see World Economic Forum, 2025, 2020, 2030, if you see largely the skills which are being identified, actually the soft skills came into existence was during the military thing in the United States back in, I think, 1968. That's the time soft skills became very popular. Coming to the slide, if you see in 2030, 2025, few of the skills are similar, are same, but the order, the importance have changed. Obviously, if you see now, the importance is more to the analytical thinking, innovation, agility, creativity would be the new trend where the focus needs to be there. And this is going to start on once students or the youth are able to believe in themselves and are continuously reskilling themselves. Last towards my slide, I want to say while we are advocating the need, the requirement for the youth, what's going to be emerging trend, I would want to highlight on the star power. We want our youth to shine like star. They are young emerging leaders. So what does the star power looks like? S, self-awareness. Self-awareness of one's skill, one's strength would be very important. Thoughts. You need to be very careful what kind of thoughts are you nurturing. While we are masking our mouth, somewhere I feel we need to even mask our ear so that we are not open to all negative thoughts, negative comments from other people, but we are energizing our environment. We need to align our thoughts with the action, reflection. We need to fail forward. If there is something in obstacle, we need to pick up the learning and get going. Power present, being mindful would be very, very important. Ownership. We need to take ownership. We need to stop comparing ourselves with other people, but we need to evolve and be resourceful. There is never a lack of resources. There's how resourceful we can be. Last, we need to be not only the CEO of our life, but even a chief inspiring officer of our life. Last, I want to say, since it's a youth forum, I would want to end it with a small anecdote that I was having with my two Generation Z children. So this morning when I was watching them playing and I was like, okay, what's the score? My son said, Mom, I'm at 5 and my Didi is at 0. So my daughter immediately said, I'm at 0 right now. But that's not the end because the whistle is not blown yet. The end of the game is not yet. So whenever you're faced with any obstacles in life, be careful. The whistle is in your hand. So don't surrender or don't defeat yourself before it. So with this, I would like to conclude. Thank you so much. And as I want to again emphasize that I see here many educators and I'm on a mission to create communities of leaders. So would be very honored to work work and explore synergies. And that's what my guru, John Mitton, who is a coach, ex-coach of Steve Jobs, we have been doing for the millennial space. So would love to explore synergies. So thank you so much, Dr. Abhishek Pandey, for inviting me here. Very honored. Thank you, Dr. Ravi Tripathi and all other dignitaries. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable inputs. Now, the next distinguished honor is Padma Shri Dr. Vijay Kumar Saha, social activist from the land of Maharashtra. May I request Dr. Vijay Kumar Saha to please share his input.
नमस्कार।
Namaskar.
आज मुझे बहुत खुशी हुई है कि आज मैंने काफी विद्वान लोगों का लेक्चर सुना है, कुछ मिनिस्टर है, सब बड़े बड़े लोग हैं। आई एम ए डॉक्टर बाय प्रोफेशन। आई एम वेरी ओल्ड नाउ, 82 years, but working in the field of health and environment last more than 55 years. And my aim is to have our children, our generation, they should have nationality. They should work for their family, not only for the development of country. I am very pleased to tell you what the government is doing now. We are doing long time. Our Indian tradition, भारतीय संस्कार जो हम बोलते हैं, वो संस्कार से सबसे दुनिया से अच्छे संस्कार है। हम मेरे नौजवान मेरे दोस्त को मुझे यही कहना है कि आपको हेल्थ शिक्षा का जो अभी अवसर मिल गया है, आपको जो नॉलेज मिल रहा है, आपके गांव में अभी शिक्षा मिल रही है। मेरे जमाने में मैं डेंटल करने के लिए मैं तभी खाली इंडिया में 10 कॉलेजेस थे। नाउ देयर आर मोर देन 350. I had to go to 500 kilometers from my place to do the dental education. Now you got a facility at your door. और मेरे ख्याल से ये है कि हमारे जो नौजवान है, मैं उनको यही कहना चाहता हूँ, आप एक जिम्मेदार आदमी बनने का कोशिश करो। मैंने देखा है कि ये बच्चे जो है, मुझे कभी कभी जिलसी आती है, इतने शार्प है, छोटे छोटे बच्चे, वो डैडी को हमारे जैसे दादा को भी सिखाते हैं, मगर उनका जो डाइवर्शन हो रहा है थोड़ा सा, वो जो मॉडर्न संस्कृति से साथ हमको भारतीय संस्कृति से जोड़ना पड़ेगा। और एक भारत का जो सपना है, भारत विश्व का गुरु है, सच्ची में गुरु है। आज देखो, आज मेडिकल फील्ड में, कोई भी फील्ड में है, देश विदेश में हमारे जैसे कोई भी लोग, यूरोप में जाके है, वहां से बच्चे को भी से हम बहुत आगे है। हमारे बच्चे बहुत अच्छे हैं, हमारे सर्जन बहुत अच्छे हैं, हमारे कंप्यूटर में तज्ञ भी अच्छे हैं। मगर एक मुझे कहना है कि जब हम पढ़ते हैं, अभी शिक्षा के बारे में मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है, तो हमको प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज जो है कोई भी फील्ड में, वो प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज बहुत कम है। प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज कम है। उनके पढ़ाई बहुत अच्छी होती है, मगर प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज नहीं होता है। तो हमको शिक्षा विभाग को मुझे कहने के ये है कि हमको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज की ज़रूरत है, और वो प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज देने में शिक्षण संस्था की जिम्मेदारी है। हमारे टीचर्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, अच्छे संस्कार से हमको पढ़ाते हैं। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री जो है, उन्होंने जो सपना है वो देखा है कि भारत को विशाल बनाने का, ये सपना जरूर पूरा होगा। मगर ये सपना शुरू होने के लिए आज़ादी के पहले के मेरी पढ़ाई है, आज़ादी के पूर्व के पहले शुरू होगी, और जो आज़ादी के बाद में हमारी शिक्षा की जो प्रगति हो, नो डाउट इट बहुत 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 अच्छी होगी। और इसके लिए हमारे सब नेता, सब समाज के नेता, और जो हमारे मार्गदर्शक है, साधु संत है, उनके सब ने जो भारत को एक अच्छा बनाने का जो सपना देखा है। मेरे एक ही नौजवान भारत के जो अभी जो नौजवान मेरे दोस्त है, मैं बोलता हूँ, पहले आप आपका खुद की प्रगति करो, फैमिली की करो, और बाद में उसके साथ साथ देश का भी विकास होगा। मैं दूसरा एक मैंने कहना चाहता हूँ कि आजकल के बच्चे में सब जगह नहीं है, कुछ एडिक्शन का भी प्रचार हो गया है। जो बच्चे अभी स्मोकिंग करते हैं, गुटखा खाते हैं, कि उनके व्यसनाधीन हो गया। कभी कभी वो फ्रस्ट्रेशन की वजह से होता है, कभी कभी खुशी की वजह से होता है। तो मेरा एक नम्र विनंती है कि आप इसके साथ से दूर रहो। और मेरा जो एक्सपीरियंस है, मैंने स्कूल के केजी स्कूल के बच्चे को पढ़ाता हूँ। मैं दांत का डॉक्टर हूँ, मैं बोलता चॉकलेट खाएंगे तो दांत खराब हो जाएंगे, और आपके डैडी कुछ तम्बाकू खाएंगे, गुटखा खाएंगे तो बीमार पड़ जाएंगे। मैं कैंसर नहीं बोलता। तो हमको बच्चे में से जो संस्कार है उस तभी से शुरू करना पड़ेगा, और हम कर रहे हैं। और देश के विकास के लिए, पर्यावरण के लिए काफी अच्छा काम हो रहे हैं। देश की प्रगति बहुत अच्छी हो रही है। मगर मेरे जो युवा है उनको यही है कि आप देश के लिए कुछ तो करो। आपकी खुद के प्रगति के साथ में आप देश के प्रगति के लिए जरूर सहभाग लो। और मेरा दूसरा एक जो है कि आपकी संस्था जो काम कर रही है वो बहुत बड़ी है। आज शिक्षा विभाग के जो मंत्री थे, डिप्टी सीएम भी थे, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा कि ये माहौल में मुझे सहभागी हो गया। मैंने आज तक मैंने जो काम किया है तो मैंने हेल्थ फील्ड में किया है, ओरल हेल्थ में, डी एडिक्शन में, पर्यावरण क्षेत्र में। और मेरा एक अभियान चला रहा हूँ मैं मोर देन 50 ईयर्स से, हिमालय से कन्याकुमारी तक, अंडमान से निकोबार में, हर स्टेट में मैं जाके आया हूँ। नियरली 300 डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाके आया, 27 कंट्रीज में जाके आया हूँ। और मुझे ये है, मेरी एक विनंती है कि मैंने एक प्लान बनाया है जो महाराष्ट्र में और अन्य भाग में है कि विद्यार्थी के माध्यम से हम पर्यावरण का संरक्षण कैसा कर सकते हैं, व्यसन मुक्ति के लिए क्या काम कर सकते हैं, और देश के विकास के लिए क्या काम कर सकते हैं। मेरे आपके संस्था के तरफ से मुझे लगता है कि मुझे कुछ चांस मिल जाएगा और देश के प्रगति में सहभागी होने के लिए आपका सबका साथ मिलेगा। मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। आज के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने मुझे जो चांस दिया है आपके साथ बोलने के लिए, मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हूँ। देश के प्रगति में आपका सबका सहयोग होगा। और भारत का जो सपना है, हम देश डेफिनेटली वी आर टॉप ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। मैं बोलता है हेल्थ एजुकेशन में, मेडिकल फील्ड में हम टॉप है, और इससे भी हम ज्यादा अच्छा काम कर सके। एक जमाना था हमको सर्जरी करने के लिए परदेश में जाना पड़ता था, और अभी हमारा का माहौल है, मेरे गांव में मैं देखता हूँ, वी आर गेटिंग द पेशेंट फ्रॉम आउटसाइड द कंट्री। हमारे डॉक्टर्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, हमारे शिक्षा संस्था बहुत अच्छी है। हम देश के लिए बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। यही विकास की जो गतिविधियां है उसका युवक का सहयोग हो जाएगा। और आपका संस्था का तरफ से मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि मुझे मेरा सौभाग्य है आपके साथ बात करने के लिए।
धन्यवाद।
और मैं हमेशा आपके साथ जुड़ा रहूंगा। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
धन्यवाद।
नमस्कार।
Thank you so much for your suggestions and a message to the youth. Now, may I request our next speaker, Dr. Enkelada Lulaz, to share his insights. Dr. Enkelada Lulaz. Please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, over to you, ma'am.
Please, it is possible to share my screen?
Just a minute.
Thank you.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you. Just a moment, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Greetings to all of you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very honored and grateful to be part of this great forum. I am Enkelada Lulaz from Kosovo, state of Kosovo. I am Doctor of Science for Finance and Accounting. Also, I work at University Haji Zeka Faculty of Management in Tourism, Hospitality and Environment. Also, I am Senator at University Haji Zeka. Thank you again. As it is a very short time, I will speak quickly. Today, we will talk about the need of a revolutionary rebirth of formal and non-formal educational channels, as well as I will make a connection or relationship with financial stress during online learning, where from the recommendation of this topic, we can learn some of the formal and non-formal channels of education, what university should do. What is education? Education brings a natural change in an individual's reasoning and ability to achieve the target goal. It facilitates us to investigate our own consideration and thoughts and makes it ready to express it in various shapes. Education also means helping people to learn how to do things and encouraging them to think about what they learn. Education is one of the main components that brings growth and progress in a society. The more people in a society are educated, the more they can make a beneficial contribution to their environment. We as a society all over the world are in era of lifelong learning, so we must be committed to the maximum to raise the quality of education. Since teachers or professors and students are unique in nature, it is essential to find ways to communicate with each student individually. In this case, increased collaboration between teachers and students affects the harmony between teaching and learning. The main attributes that affect the growth of cooperation are respect, satisfaction for work and learning, continuous reflection and improvement. Types of education. For formal education and informal education, example characteristics, advantages, disadvantages. What is formal education or formal learning? Usually takes place in the premises of the school or universities. Example of formal education, learning in a classroom or maybe school grading, certification, college, universities, degrees, etc. Characteristics of formal education. Example, formal education is structured hierarchically. It has a chronological grading system. Advantage of formal education. Example, an organized educational model and up-to-date course contents, or maybe easy access to job. Disadvantages formal education. Example, chance of the bad habits adoption may be alarming due to the presence of both good and bad students in the classroom. Informal education. What is informal education? Is when you are not studying in a school or in university and do not use any particular learning method. Example for informal education, someone learning he has a mother tongue. As characteristics of his informal education. Example, it has no definite syllabus, maybe, or second, it has a lifelong process in a natural way, or you can get from any sources such as media, life experience, friends, family. As advantages of non-formal education, utilizes a variety techniques, no specific time span or less costly and time efficient learning process. Disadvantages of informal education. Example, no proper schedule, time span, or lack of confidence in the learner. In this slide, you can see formal and informal learning. Formal learning description may structured online or face-to-face. Informal learning, unplanned, not set goals or self-directed. Personal research method maybe, or online books, resources, etc. Now in this slide, we can see my research about education, formal and non-formal channels with my students. For this study, data was collected from higher education institution in my state of the Kosovo, more specifically in Kosovo public universities. This survey of questionnaires completed with master, bachelor, and other level students. Does financial stress affect students' performance during online learning through formal and non-formal educational channels? Financial impact on the new teaching and learning environment, or MMN. The financial impact for students and their families for the reasons of COVID-19 in the new teaching and learning environment in order to meet the condition to continue online learning have been increased. So in this case, higher education is also facing various challenges in the process of transforming the new teaching and learning environment. The table number 1, or financial impact on the new teaching of learning environment. The MM4 variables has the most correlations or relationship with MM5 and MM6. If students adapt to online learning, there will be an increase and the acquisition of learning skills and easier completion of different tasks. Therefore, there is a correlation between teaching and learning factors in students. Financial impact and problems related to lack of dedication to learning, or PMPM. During using the online platform, there are some elements which can be considered barriers to MMN for students, such as delayed response by students, or professors are not always available to respondent in students' time, or motivation diminished by students, feeling of isolation due to lack of presence of classmates, poor network or outdated computer, then can slow down the use of lecture materials. So these problems can be overcome with the help of professors who adapt their MMN strategies to the needs of students. Therefore, to achieve this, professors should have knowledge and experiences in MMN. Now, according to the results about the table number 2, or financial impact and problems related to lack of dedication to learning, the variables PMPM number 1 has a positive relationship or correlation with the variables number 2 to increase the environment about teaching and learning factors. Students should avoid problems from isolation so that there are no study problems.
May I request Dr. Lulas to please
Yes.
wind up soon, because we are running short of time. Thank you so much. Please wind up.
In this slide, you can see a recommendation. There should be concentration during online learning. Condition must be created for MMN. There should be good communication. Stress factors should be removed. There should be information from professors on how exams and tests will be conducted. There should be a study commitment for students by professors. Also, financial well-being. There must be financial condition. Thank you so much. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. Moving forward, may I request Dr. Reema Singh Madhur, an educator from Australia, to share her wisdom. Over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please proceed.
And am I visible?
Yeah, you are visible too. Thank you so much.
Okay, a very good evening to everyone, and thank you for inviting me onto this platform. The topic that I'm going to be talking about is, just a moment, actually I had my PPT presentation organized, and technology it is giving me some trouble. So I'm going to try and work between my phone screen and talking to you all. So the topic that I'm going to be talking about is advocating young people's needs in a post-COVID-19 world. And I just thought that before I actually talk about what are the needs or how we can help them, let's actually just quickly, figure out what are the problems that they are facing before we actually decide how we can help them. So identifying the problems. And as far as my understanding is concerned, at this juncture, the young people or the youth globally, there are three types of problems that they are facing, or three major concerns at the moment, as per my understanding. First is the emotional or the mental well-being. Now, mental well-being is, of course, a major, and all the issues that I'm going to be talking about, they're all interrelated. None of them are in isolation. So the mental health of the youth of the country or the world, for that matter, is definitely has had a huge impact, because it is evident in different manners. It could be domestic violence, which the youth is witnessing, or they are subject to it, for that matter, or if they have a person in the family who's not very well and there have been issues. With that, just give me 1 second. As I said, I'm trying to figure out between my phone screen and this. Yep. So it's about the domestic violence, as I said, due to and the loss of family members and so on and so forth is definitely having an impact on the youth of the country. And the second point where I feel or concern, where I think as COVID-19 has hugely impacted the youth, is the educational system. So the cancellation of exams, the virtual learning, the long screen time, lack of physical exercise, all of that is having an impact, a huge impact on the youth of the world. And after that, definitely one more impact that it has had is the financial impact. Now, if we look across the youth, the young people are generally involved or they do some part-time jobs and are absorbed into jobs such as in the industry, such as hospitality industry, which has been greatly hit by COVID-19. So all these factors I feel are there, which are the problems or the concerns which the youth is facing. Now, coming to what kind of solutions can we have? How do we help this? How do we support the youth to be able to survive successfully in a post-COVID world? To be able to do that, of course, definitely, we need to make sure that there is international cooperation and solidarity. Now, the very fact that COVID is not targeting any one person or any one country, it's a global issue. So it's extremely important that we as a global world get together and there is a cooperation, policies are made, understood, shared amongst each other. And that is going to probably, and whatever is applicable to whichever country, they then follow those policies to help out the people in the best possible manner that they can. The other point that I feel is important for us to take care of is we need the government, okay? And if absolutely the government so far, I think every government has been working so hard and so successfully in dealing with this pandemic. For us to ensure that the youth is fruitfully occupied, it is important that we have government policies and whereby the youth of the world gets an opportunity and has a say into the planning and administration and implementation of the policies. So because they are the ones who are aware of what their issues are and how they can deal with it. So the involvement of youth and giving them the opportunity to have their say would, I feel, have an impact again on helping them and making them, and it's also going to give them a purpose, the purpose which is being lost at the moment. So it's going to give them a purpose to move forward and have a reason to kind of, and also divert their mind from all the other things around them. So it's important to have them involved in the decision-making scenario. And the other thing I feel is definitely media. Media, the government has to ensure, or also the media individually has a responsibility to make sure that how they are sharing the news, how authentic it is, and how whatever news that they're going to share, what kind of an impact is it going to have on the youth of the world. So these were the few things that I think are important and would help. So I would, at this stage, at this juncture, would like to conclude with a simple, So together we will get through the crisis, okay, by helping each other. By helping each other, we will all recover, imagine, and dare to build a better tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your deliberations and suggestions that you have given. Now, our next dignified speaker is Dr. Dragan Zanevu, professor at Macedonia, to the virtual stage for his sharing.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Dragan Jovanov, Doctor of Science of Phytomedicine and Agroecology. Thank you for the invitation, Dr. Pandey. I'm honored. I will talk today about COVID-19. Advocating for young people in COVID-19 is very important. First, because they need to be driving force to use all their ideas in order to protect themselves from that virus. Below and fight the challenges ahead. Prevention is their way of life. I have been working on modern phytomedicine for many years. What does that mean? Modern phytomedicine is part of the medical practice that cause prevention, treatment, and protection against bacteria, viruses, parasites, and viruses diseases. In today's panel discussion, I will tell you which herb to use in time of corona crisis to protect your health and health of your family. Phytomedicine requires patience, but it's also something that is probably the most healing, and anyone, regardless of financial status, can use it. Herbal plant for protect against viruses, sweet wormwood, Artemisia annua, black tea, dandelion, Taraxacum officinale, chamomilla, matricaria chamomilla, humus, Thumus serpulum, wild original, oregano vulgare, half-thorn, Crataegus oxynata, and Gentiana lutea. SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 is a virus that attacks the etherical body, initially attacking blood vessels in the lungs. For the proposed prevention and treatment of blood vessels and protect of the lungs are needed. The following herbal plants that I will briefly explain are exactly the plants that I have researched and so far have helped people to protect themselves from COVID those who have COVID to fix in the blood vessels caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Artemisia annua has antiviral properties against many viral infections, including SARS-CoV-2 virus, influenza A, herpes simplex, varicella. This herbal plant is commonly used to purify the blood, liver, and lymph, purifies toxins in the body, strengthens the body immunity. It is Taraxacum officinale laboratory studies on the antimicrobial properties of Taraxacum officinale say that its extract can significantly reduce the viral reproducibility of the dandelion. A similar effect was shown in pathogenic bacteria. This herbal plant also strengthens the blood count and cleanses the blood vessels and the wall organisms of toxins. Black tea, almost all studies have showed that this has a great effect on the health of heart and blood vessels. Scientists say that is especially good, that is prevents inflammation of the walls of blood vessels that prevents many diseases. 1 month later, studies show that patients who drink black tea had a 15% improvement in heart function and vascular health compared to those who did not consume, and also from the group of patients at high risk for a heart attack fell into the group of patients with moderate risk. Apart from improving the function of the heart, this tea is also great for improving the function of the brain and the function and health of the lungs. Scientists say that is a great drink that you should use during a period of physical or mental activity because this gives concentration, energy, improves relax. Chamomilla, Matricaria chamomilla contains compounds that can actually increase the production of white blood cells and B lymphocytes. The basic function of B lymphocytes is to participate in the production of antibodies and immunoglobulin, which work to destroy viruses, bacteria, and fungi. Chamomile also purifies the blood, calms the body, strengthens the immune system, protects against colds and flu. Tumus serpulum is used against bronchitis, pneumonia, laryngitis, cough, against intestinal diseases, to improve appetite for bile and liver. Humus has antibacterial and antiviral effects and is recommended to be drunk in the winter against respiratory infections. Oregano vulgare, wild oregano, contains several essential oils such as carvicol, lemon, thymol, pinene, and others. Its leaves and flower have antiseptics, anticonvulsant, and anti-influence effect. Fresh plant is an excellent source of antioxidants, vitamin C. This vitamin helps the body develop resistance to infection against and to flush out harmful free radicals. It is one of the favorite plants of the people and used as for strengthening for the treatment of diseases of the digestive and respiratory organs. It is also used against a various inflammatory process of the skin and mucous membranes. Cartagos oxynata strengthens the heart and is also used as a natural remedy to regulate blood pressure. It only lowers blood pressure, but also raises higher in cases of impaired heart muscle. It has a beneficial effect on blockage of blood vessels, inflammation of heart muscles, and against angina pectoris. In short, it helps treat all types of heart diseases. 2 minutes finished. Gentiana lutea, the bitter substance genitoprinicin and amigorgenicin against the body stimulate test receptors in the mouth and cause the secretion of juices in the stomach, intestines, and bile therapy improve appetite, digestion, and absorption of food. Therapy strengthens the body. In medicine, lunch root is used to increase appetite, to strengthen and against high fever and seals. my research patent again immuno, my research patent on viruses and immunity has so far proved effective in researching 16,000 people during a pandemic. Thank you very much. Greeting from Macedonia. 10 minutes.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insights. Our next speaker is Dr. Muthumina, who is a lecturer by profession from Indonesia. Over to you.
Thank you very much and good evening from Indonesia. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the wonderful invitation from Charles Walter Innovation Research, Dr. Pandey, and thank you for the wonderful moderator for having me tonight. Allow me to share my screen, please. Hello, I cannot share my screen.
Please.
Can you?
Yes,
okay.
please, go ahead.
Yeah, I know my time only 10 minutes. I will.
Yes, we need to cut short a bit as we are running short of time. Thank you so much for understanding.
Sorry, my connection not good.
Hi all, Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Hello, wait me. Sorry. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, I can see.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Just too windy. I will talking about the supporting today for the youth education. Before that, I'm gonna tell you about a little bit about myself. This is my international and national organization. Actually, I am lecturer in the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education at Al Azhar Manda University in Indonesia. So, well, I am actually the member of Charles Walter Innovation and Research. So today I'm going to share to you about the rocking model designing independent learning induction zone for the Gizdila era. Why I choose my topic today? Because right now, based on the data from UNICEF and UNESCO and World Bank, actually this is the mission to recovery education 2021. A focus on the 3 priority about all children and youth will be back to the school, and then we must service their learning, health, physical, social well-being, and other needs. And also, we can get the student service for remedial learning. And also for the last, all the teacher need to be incorporate digital technology into their teaching. Talking about digital technology, actually today we are not going to how to compare the condition today because the technology, this is, we are in the digital era, we must integration the technology in our learning and teaching process. But not only about the technology, but we must facilitate for educator how to be more understanding. They are educator, they are designer, and also facilitators. We come back again about the pedagogy in learning and teaching or based on educational sector. The pedagogy, this is covering with how right now today we are accelerating digital transformation to manage our classroom. Today's issue, the challenge during the COVID-19, and this is actually for the future of education. Based on my opinion, I divided into 5 the highlight challenge today, and we are as educator must be understanding about this condition when we wanted to implementation, namely technology in our learning and teaching process. Today is about injecting artificial intelligence in education. We actually do this is to make our learning and teaching process to be more practical and effective. and also this is covering with the technology. And the condition today, education, our education, we are transformation, and also we use some of, or namely here, we collaborate between quantum learning, quantum teaching, and the quantum technology. Actually about quantum learning, quantum teaching, and quantum technology, this is how today we are creating the activities in the classroom based on the student need or the student want, and also designing the fun and enjoyable teaching strategies or teaching activities. And one of the theory that actually supporting about integration between technology and pedagogy based on educational sector, namely cybergogy. In the cybergogy, this is covered with the to support and facilitate our student about the metacognitive skill, knowing how to learn and freedom to learn. And the last about digital vaccine, we are in the society 5.0. Everything we are going to be digital. We are going online. We are online. We are live right now. So to supporting the rocking model here, because we understanding about the student situation, the student condition, the youth generation, they are the Gen Z. This is the cybergogy actually engage the student learning, online learning environment. This is covered with the 3-factor cognitive based on the theory of behaviorism. We must understanding and analyze what is actually the student learning style. Because in learning and teaching process, this is not only the teacher as the single solo in the classroom. So social constructivism, and today we are connected in the globally, and also we must contribution in the global community and communication. So the last about emotion, yeah, actually in learning, in education, this is not only about the transfer knowledge, this is the holistic process. We train our student and facilitate to increase their competence, their skill, and also developing their character, value, attitude, and behavior. So what about today's education? We must facilitate the student with integrating the 21st century skill in our learning and teaching process. We must facilitate them with the namely here 21st century skill, communication, collaboration, critical thinking and creative, and also supporting to achieve the learning outcome based on the Bloom taxonomy. The Bloom taxonomy here, we must facilitate our students how they are, namely here, get the or to support student 21st century skill for digital era. And if this is relating to the Bloom taxonomy, actually, if you just only asking your student to recall and remember of the information, this is in the area only lower order thinking skill, and this is for the higher order thinking skill. And what about the implementation in the classroom? And then, implementation in the classroom and connected with the technology. For example, here, this is the Bloom taxonomy, this is the action, this is the activities, and this is the one of the tools that you can choose. For example, if you wanted to ask your student to recall the information or remember and understanding, you can the right action you can choose here, like you ask your student to summarize, paraphrase, for example, and then the activities you can ask them to recognizing or create the mind mapping, and you can choose one of the tools or technology to support or to facilitate their Bloom taxonomy here. And also, beside that, the intersection between pedagogy and the technology. This is about the system and also about the educator itself. Today, we are as educator, we must going to be a digital teacher, and the student, we must train our student to becoming a digital student. This is not easy, specific in Indonesia, in my country. This is very, very difficult because, you know, Indonesia, we are 50% area in Indonesia, we are in the rural area. Most of the students and teacher, they don't have device and also the internet connection unstable over there. So what should we do right now when we have the challenge about today for the youth? For the youth, we must understanding about this condition and also train them with the experience about how to use the technology to supporting their learning, because, you know, today we are connected globally, and also we must facilitate them with the 21st century skill. I think you can see this is the picture here, and we must understanding our student, not like us. Today, we must create the teaching or the learning and teaching in the classroom process with the fun activities. Fun activities you can choose, for example, by using social media. This is some of the research that supporting using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Blogspot, and YouTube. And also based on the data today, right now, the world, this is the most familiar platform today in the world, like Facebook and YouTube and WhatsApp. And based on this data, we can designing our material, our teaching activities, based activities. And also come back again with Indonesia, mostly Indonesian people, yeah, they are the potential here audience. They are Googling by using YouTube.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, could you please wind up as we are running short of time? Thank you.
Okay. So this is just want to share to you the example here. If you want to designing your material to young generation, for example, by using Padlet, this is the example of Padlet. You can use this articulate storyline and also virtual reality or artificial intelligence. So this is for the conclusion. The conclusion, there is not a single approach is effective to all. In my country, in India, and another country may be different. So you can designing your material based on your student condition, your student want, and your student need. So thank you for having and listening to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much for your much insightful deliberation. Thank you so much. Now, may I invite our next speaker, Rosina Esmentani, who is an assistant teacher from Bangladesh. Ma'am, are you there? Yes, please.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Sound clear, ma'am?
Yeah, you are clear, and I would request you to please little bit short. Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, sound clear?
Sound is clear. I would request you to be little short as we are running short.
Ma'am,
please.
My share screen.
Please start.
Ma'am, permission me share screen.
Just a minute.
Ma'am, permission me.
Yeah, I am doing so. Yes, permission granted. You please carry on and try to be little concise. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Clear? Share screen.
Yes, please
clear?
carry on. Please carry on.
Okay, ma'am. Welcome, World Youth Summit 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, and honorable guests, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rosina Yasmin Tonni, working as an assistant teacher in Charnabat Mohila Dakhil Madrasa, Bangladesh. I am also working with Master Trainer ICT, MI expert, ISA coordinator, ICT for a district ambassador. Wish everyone are well in this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to present my opinion on this conference on the topic contributing to personal and professional development of young people. Youths are the future of a nation. By influencing them on their personal and professional development, will make them more effective on their future life. There are many ways to improve their career development. The contribution on personal and professional development will make the nation economic, cultural, and socially strong. Now I'm talking about the personal development of youth people. Personal development. Some of the issues youth can address through personal development include increasing self-awareness, learning new skills including communication, visioning and goal setting, life planning, etc. Identifying employability, enhancing quality of life, improving health, and raising social abilities, and encouraged personal goals. I personally try to advise the youth of my local area by many of this term. And these are the terms which I use in my personal development. Increasing self-awareness. Find own weakest and strengths, point to diversity, own goal, and also to identify weakness and take necessary steps to improve the weakest points. In my early years of my professional career, I was afraid about many things that I confused. What should I have to do? But then I tried to understand me that in where I can do my best. What is the strength and weakness? This knowledge helped me the most on my professional and personal career. And as a teacher, I always make my students to acknowledge about their own strengths and weakness so they can easily understand where they're best. By this, they are increasing their self-awareness. Learning new skills. It is the most important way of personal development, in my opinion, because learning new skills develop our knowledge. I learned a lot of skills in my career life, communicating skills, goal setting, and life planning, which improved my working efficiency. Now I always suggest my students and young youth to learn new skills according to their objectives. And in this pandemic, we can easily find some time for learning new things on this lockdown. I learned many new skills through online courses from home. I also advised my students to learn different skills from home. Identifying employability. The work you love, if this will your profession, that will increase a lot efficiency on your professional career. So understanding on employability is a great personal skill to create your future or need to identify own career goal. The job we love to do will be more efficient. As a teacher, I always encourage my students to set a goal on their early age. Improving health. There is proverb that health is wealth. So if a person what is shine in life, he must need to be healthy. A healthy person can focus more on the job. So maintaining health is also an important term of personal development. I regularly do different exercise and diet to maintain good health and also advise others to make a good health. Detect personal goals and routine. One need a detect personal goal to set up own time management. One cannot develop it. He has no specific work schedule to do this job of this professional and personal. Professional development. Some of the issues youth can address through professional development include develop a timeline with career milestones, take advantage of any and every training program, participate in different workshops, find a mentor. These are the terms which I use for my professional development are presenting on the screen. Develop a timeline with career milestones. One should need to make a timeline with his seniors to consult about on best perform to achieve the organization goal. In my profession, I always try to give me 100% on my career goal. To achieve the goal, I always set a timeline with the help of my seniors and colleagues. It always helped me on my career progress. So it is an essential idea to develop on professional career. Learn from professional training. One should attend every professional training and learn about own works carefully. It will help to make own professional career more talent to shine. Take advantage of any and every training program and professional development opportunity your company offers and you think would be helpful to your career. Participate in workshops. In training period, there will be a lot of workshop or assignment will be given. One should complete their workshops properly, which will develop professional career. The purpose of workshop is to bring together professionals with specific expertise to discuss problems and offer solutions. Unlike most conferences, workshops requires active participation from those attending. This hands-on experience can be especially useful in learning new skills. Find a mentor. A mentor you look up to and whose career growth you would like to imitate. A mentor is a great way to learn about new opportunities, and learning from someone else's experience can give you an edge over the personals. It will keep the youth about their future on the professional development and makes them an achiever. Importance and personal and professional development. I think personal development is a lifelong process. It is a way for people to assess their skills and qualities, consider their aims in life and set goals in order to realize and maximize their potential. Investing in personal and professional development allows you to be proactive in bringing your goals to life, giving you a sense of self-awareness and direction. Personal and professional development gives you a competitive edge in crowded workforce, helping differentiate yourselves and stand out to future employers. It can also help you realize and leadership qualities and capability you may have and potentially within your jobs, search and opportunities available. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insightful presentation. May I now welcome the next speaker, Dr. Tania Mizia. She is PhD in education, a research professor at the Latin American University. Over to you, ma'am. Dr. Tania Mizia, are you there? It seems she is not. Okay, moving forward, it will be our honor to invite Dr. P.R. Ratna, UN volunteer, Nepal, to share his pearls of wisdom. Yes,
thank you very much, ma'am.
Over to you.
Having a wonderful moderating, Dr. Tripathi, these sessions. And warm greetings from Kathmandu, Nepal. And I'm very glad to be part of this global platform on this World Youth Summit. And I'm very glad to be here as a speaker. And thank you very much. And also congratulations for CWSRI, SIR. So on this matter of this World Summit, for me, striking two words from this CWSRI is the innovation and research, because the what the youth for today is that need them for engage in more innovations and the research purpose. So by the way, my name is Dr. P.R. Ratna Maharjan. I am the humanitarian and social worker. I was the former lecturer at the universities in Sungling University in Taipei. At the same time, after being lecturer, so now I'm working in the NGO, and now I'm running one of the leading youth organizations in the world. And the name is, I'm the president of International Youth Society, which has the global network of 149 countries. We have more than 10,000 members. With these platforms that we are engaging young people, and mostly focusing on the collaborations and put our young people in actions. So during this COVID pandemic, COVID-19 said we should engage more young people into actions and also engage them into more social and humanitarian works so that they can divert this mental stress, because which is one of the greatest cause for suicide cases. Because in Nepal, compared to Nepal, the young people is suiciding more than the victim of COVID-19. So therefore, we should be very careful about handling the young people. As the previous speakers has stressed that we should give young people opportunities. So not just only talking about educations, but also I'd like to bring your concentration that we should deal with this using this platform. Why should not we collaborate each other and engage young people from around the world? This is a world summit. So whereby from Asia to Africa, Africa to Europe to North America and South America, we connect our young people and we share. Because during this pandemic, one of this our Zoom meeting is one of the tools that we can use to contribute. So, and that with this for these events that we have been doing, that will be one of the greatest event. So let's the young people from around the world collaborate and engage and learn each other at the same time of giving them more opportunity in innovations and research purpose. And because there are a lot of talents, young people, and their resources has been limited due to COVID-19, as previous speakers has mentioned that children, youths has been already home-based. And because some places are still locked down and they are using only Zoom on this meeting and physically not able to go to school. So there's no physical actions. So in this situation that young people are in most stressful situation. So we have to find the solutions and give this solution for the young people with all our hands together, with all the speakers, which all of them have a lot of resources and contacts. And let's use all resources in collaboratively, collectively, commonly, and let's work together and build the world of the young people, wonderful, that hope that we can use these youth actions and use resources. This is one of the robust energy that we have in the world. So don't waste time, and we should not allow the young people to waste their time. So as we are the leaders around the world, and we should guide them properly and use our resources to bring back into the actions. Thank you very much for giving me these actions for this platform. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful words and profound knowledge. Well, I consider it a great honor to welcome Sima Kartenya, member in Medical Expert Committee of the PRAD Health Organization, WHO, USA, to share his deliberation.
Yes,
Yes,
good
ma'am,
morning. Yes, can everyone hear me?
Yes, please, go ahead.
And I am visible, right?
Yeah.
Great. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night to everyone. I am happy to be at this globally significant conference today. I am going to briefly introduce myself and then go straight into my initiatives, because I know we are running short of time and want to give respect to other speakers that are still coming up after me. So I'm Dr. Seema Karatnaya, PhD, member of the Medical Expert Committee of the World Health Organization, member and panelist of different international and national public health and multicultural initiative societies, organizations, and committees. And I am also the World Book of Records London International Hero title holder. And I am an author of many public health restructuring proposals and initiatives as well. Coming back to what our fellow colleague, I believe from Macedonia was saying, we need to consider the health effects before going into the educational remedies on how to preserve our youth and develop it into our confident future. We need to consider the fact that right now, unfortunately, another pandemic is growing from the COVID pandemic, and the pandemic is mental health pandemic, which unfortunately begins with our youth. So in order to resolve that issue, I actually developed a few public health restructuring initiatives that are going to directly affect our youth starting a really small age. Well, of course, in the long run, they promise the prevention of future pandemics for all ages, but the main functional unit is our youth, which basically comes down to vaccinations, believe it or not. And vaccinations, as we know, are only allowed in some members of our youth, but not starting almost birth until our adulthood. Therefore, I have developed a particular platform of a vaccination, and this is the creation and implementation of a vaccine for children. And the vaccine for children is a special type of formula that will involve different natural flavors and natural coloring in order for the child that is less than 12 years of age to be able to consume the vaccine. Therefore, we're going to prevent the infection rate of COVID-19 in very young children, going on to teenagers, going on to young adults and seniors as a result of all of that. Therefore, if we use this method and we prevent the infection rate, we also end up witnessing the decline in mental health rates. Therefore, promoting the will and the desire for our youth to actually resume wanting to go to school, resume wanting to get educated. Because right now we are facing a double-sided educational platform in the entire world, here in the United States and the entire world. We are witnessing virtual and in person, and there's conflict internally inside every single child, whether they should go, not just the parent that is afraid or the family member that is afraid to let their children go to school because of the COVID infection rate, as I was just talking about, increasing or fluctuating. But the actual child has the internal conflict within themselves, whether they should do virtual for the rest of their life until they finish their education, complete their education, or should they mix virtual and in person, or whether they should go back to 100% in-person education process. With that being said, I have another initiative directly related to the educational process and how we get our children after they have been vaccinated, after we have set forth the stone to preventing future pandemics health-wise. We are going to bring our children back to be interested, to the interest in education and the wisdom and power of knowledge and empowerment by knowledge. And my idea of an initiative which I'm working on implementing here in New York, United States, and hopefully it's going to work out globally as well, is the development of extracurricular cultural and talent centers. These are going to be institutions that children will be attending as an after-school program, but as a joint after-school program related to the continuation, pertaining to the continuation of the education process. Multicultural and talent centers are going to mainly focus on allowing children to learn extensively about their own culture of upbringing, as well as about the surrounding cultures that that surround them on a daily basis, while still pursuing their talents and abilities. Because as we know, some children are very vibrantly talented in many different regards, whether it's art, music, math, science, or anything of that sort. So we want to nourish these talents. And we want to also open talents in other kids, in other children in which those talents are either hidden or haven't been discovered the right way. So basically, I think that with the public health slowly growing into the educational empowerment initiatives, we will be able to reach some, if not many, of the sustainable goals. And we will again resume not just hoping, but knowing that our children are our confident, empowered, strong youth, and therefore we are confident, empowered, and strong with them. Thank you very much for your time and attention. And it was a great honor for me to participate today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your wonderful insight and your much, inputs that you have given to us. Thank you so much. Now, towards the end, may I request Dr. Sophie Novani, who is an executive president, Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, to propose vote of thanks.
Hello, blessings to everyone. What's a beautiful gathering here today we have, and amazing speakers and insights. And this is really how we can move forward collectively with united intentions towards really building our youth and developing skills and areas as we share and connect and collaborate as well. I would like to thank the Prime Minister, Chief Guest, and Guest of Honor, and all the speakers who actually had their heart and thoughts really expressed fully to all of us. And I would like to extend my gratitude to our President and founder of Charles Walter Society Innovation and Research, Dr. Pandey, and also to all the ambassadors and members, audience, secretary, our beautiful moderator today, who was amazing as well in structuring everything for all of us. And on this topic, as I gather a lot of the information, some great points have been really discussed. It is through the emotional and social aspects as well, considering health. Of course, we cannot neglect that, because without that, we won't have any students attending anything. So it is very important for us to be very aware and also educated on what are the negative aspects of neglecting such awareness and information. There has been mixed feelings about vaccines. There has been mixed feelings about many things. And lack of knowing or understanding or enough research or getting resources and data and facts from the right sources can cause such confusion and mixed emotions. It is through summits and youth gathers like this that we're able to enlighten and also allow for this way of being for it, so that we can move forward and not continue to deal with this biggest pandemic that we ever faced in the history of humankind. But on the youth topic, I would like to address something that I really like by Dr. Richard Lerner, who is also a director in applied youth development. And that was really developing youth in 5 C's that he mentions. And that is in competence, confidence, connection, character, caring, and compassion, which also will cultivate contribution. When we are aware of what characters we need to develop in our kids, we are able to really equip them for a better future. And as a certified laughter yoga instructor and co-founder of the Laughter Mindset program, I also like to address the importance of adding humor in anything that we are teaching and allow the kids themselves to be in that space of psychological safety, where it will influence less bullying and less stress on the kids. And this has been proven through breathing techniques and stretching. And also it has shown that people who laugh together cannot be angry and laughing at the same time. And that will motivate the kids to actually be able to want to study more and be better in what they do. And another area that I like to also shed light on is an article by Skills That You Need that said there's 9 skills that the youth will need to be most equipped in the 21st century. And that was on digital literacy, which we all know that everything with technology, and the faster that we can teach our kids more diversified areas in technology, the more demand in and needed through the workforce and equip them to better future. As well, the skill of problem solving, which is very important. And as a creative mindset strategist, I really encourage that skill to be taught at an earlier age, not later on in life, because then it will be a lot easier for them to speed to areas they need to arrive. Also, global citizenship. I'm an advocate of multiculturalism and cross-cultural intelligence. And I believe with the technology, we are having a lot of connection globally in many different countries. And with the kids having that mindset of being a global citizen and maybe learning more languages is going to equip them to be a lot more stronger and diversified and connected with humanity at large. And another skill was addressed with the youth in entrepreneurship, which they might not actually be in business, all of them, but knowing those skills are definitely necessary for their connection and understanding different systems, and also the ability to stand in their own power if they choose to be in that path. And the skill of curiosity and love of learning, as this is a basic of where a lot of things starts, and without curiosity or intellectual curiosity specifically, we are not going to have more openness, and also it is going to really create a lot of great character and resilience, because when you can be more curious than angry, or more curious than fearful, that is going to give you a motivation to always want to find out, research, and do things in a better way. And the fifth skill was communication skills, especially in writing and speaking. And so no matter what we learn, if we are not good communicators in the way we deliver our ideas or express them, that is going to set back a lot of the hard work that a lot of people may have, or other great skills that they actually have. And the sixth skill was adaptability and cognitive flexibility, so that we remain open and adjustable, just like we had to deal with a pandemic. If people are not having good adaptable skills and got cognitive flexibility, it's hard for them to pivot and to be able to change and be more creative at the same time. And the eighth skill that was addressed was accessing, assessing, and analyzing information. Our youth, when they are equipped to learn how to research, to learn how to analyze problems and information, they are going to be a lot more advanced and more skilled to the fast pace of technology and information that is provided to many. And that is going to be a very important and attractive skill for business owners when they hire, and employers as well. And the last skill was self-knowledge and emotional intelligence. And I would add to that creative intelligence as well. So self-knowledge, when they are able to understand who they are at an earlier age, what is their strengths, what is their weakness, it is going to really make them understand others better. And they will become more able to regulate their emotions in a better way and become more emotionally intelligent, which is really an important skill to all age groups. And if we can start with youth, and this is what this article really addressed, and it is very, very important, because then we are going to have much more better leaders, and I would say more authentic integrity is going to be applied in the leadership of our youth. Because when we have that connection with self, we are able to be better people for others as well. A lot of you have shared amazing points and pointers, and this summit is going to be continued for another few days. And I'm so looking forward to gathering all this information as we all lead and guide in our best way possible. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. Thank you for your time. Many blessings to everyone, and namaste.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sophie. You have always been the strongest support system for Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research, and great in your deliberations. Now,
blessings.
Outside of the Olympic Games, no youth-led movement represents as many nationalities as the One Young World Youth Summit. It cannot be stressed enough that such conferences or summits provide a cutting edge to youth and gives them a learning curve on how to conduct themselves and be the scriptwriters of their life. With these lines, we come to an end of the first day of the World Youth Summit 2021, forwarding all deliberations and knowledgeable thoughts to the yet another enriching second day of World Youth Summit, that is tomorrow. There were certain glitches, technical glitches, that will resolve as soon as possible and upload the recording on Facebook and the YouTube channel of Charles Walter Society for Innovation and Research. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.